Damn, baby, to get on out of here. We tired of waiting. Anyway, all right. So
I'm trying to hit the gym.
This is episode 23, and
that's a lot.
so just to start off a little light, I do got a funny video. It's only 25 seconds. I need y'all to explain to me what y'all's boy is doing in this particular video.
Ooh.
Did he fall? No, he's taking a whole bath.
Explain what he doing. What now? Look what side he washing. What he doing?
Ooh.
Now explain why he washing. Why he washed the Duke shoe and then he. But hold on. Why he washed the back? Watch it again. Why did he wash the Duke shoe?
Yeah.
And then he got to wash the front. So what was he doing to where he had to wash the Duke shoot out first?
Child, you know what he was doing. He was up in man. That's what that was.
I'll take it.
Go ahead.
The ambidextrous.
What's public restroom though? That's like more germs in there than if he would have just.
Was he in some sort of sandwich? Him. Like what's is that?
All of that. I don't even want to know.
They're taking turns.
Okay. I know the devil don't need an advocate, but
oh God, here we go.
What if it was a woman and he let her peg him and then he did her
in a public restroom?
No.
In a public restroom?
No, man.
Oh,
no, man.
God damn, Chef. Come on, man. No.
He trying to scoop the water up in there.
He made sure. He made sure.
Did get a little soap too, so
it's too much.
Yeah, man. Anyway, so all right. So on a more serious note, I know we have a slate of things to get into, but the first thing I want to get into, and I just saw this a few minutes ago. So there's this rapper Suki Hana. I don't know if y'all are familiar with her music. Yeah. So I'm gonna share a little bit of her music. So y'all gotta hear the content just to get a good idea of, I guess, what she's talking about. Then I want to show y'all what.
Bitch, it's Suki with the good cat. Yeah, y'all hoes know my fucking name, bitch. Yeah, Suki. I take your nigga, put this pussy on his tongue. Deep throwing dick, I got cum all in my lungs. And you know he chewed this ass, don't be dumb. I got niggas tryna pay to eat this pussy on my thumb. Dick all in my booty hole, I'm finna get my ass, bitch. I don't want your kids, nigga, put them on my ass cheeks. Cause I'm trifling, 40 Glock on my nightstand. Roll up his backwood before he put that pipe in. Bitch, I'm...
All right. So y'all got an idea of her content. Now, this is what she has to deal with on a day-to-day.
That pussy spit, and I know it do. I watched you walk in this motherfucker.
So you can tell by my walk?
I can tell by your walk that pussy spit.
Hey, you a country nigga. Where you from?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Campbellton Road to be exact. What's happening with it? Oh yeah, I want to smell your pussy. I want to put my face in your pussy. You say Suki with the good coochie, you know what I'm saying? You be talking about how good that motherfucker smell and all that. We can go to the back and I can come back and give her.
You want to smell my ass?
I might put my tongue down that motherfucker.
Oh my gosh, A1.
But we gonna start with the sniffing though.
You are aggressive.
She love that shit, man. Look at her. She like that old shit.
No, I don't.
You love that shit.
No, I mean after like during sex maybe, but you know, that not right now.
Nah, all that shit you talk. Fuck that. You done met your match. I'm here. What's up?
So listen, hold on.
This man.
Okay.
Now hold on. I got one more I want to share before we give our thoughts on y'all heard her music, and then I need y'all to see the situation for the situation.
Oh my.
Oh,
Who's the dude?
That dude. I'll tell you who that dude is too. Hold on, I got him too. Now that guy is P. Diddy's supposed friend.
The boyfriend.
P. Diddy's friend. Yeah, that's
you will not get me sued by P. Diddy. He's
I
a legend.
I heard about
You better
that.
throw a
Nobody
legend.
said that. You and Diddy.
Yeah,
You and Diddy.
You and Diddy what?
They said he was. They said he was. How you knew that? How you know
Now I'm about to Google because I ain't never heard this.
He said he was Diddy's boy toy. Yeah, I was in Jamaica with him.
Oh, I see it now.
See? I was in Jamaica with
Osiris
him.
in Jamaica with his alleged boo Diddy. Can we talk about Diddy new boy toy? YK Osiris. Why you did this to Diddy, man? It's messed up, man.
I'm just asking my roommate so he can clear it up. That's what the breakfast.
I didn't even know that. That ain't nothing that needs to be cleared up.
And so that same dude now he's here.
Oh my.
Now, we gotta kind of explain what the hell is going on. The first time I saw that, I'm thinking about the dudes that was sitting there. I saw both. The dudes was sitting there looking around like one of them is sitting there looking like, is somebody gonna come do something? The other one's sitting there just looking like.
But neither stepped in.
Neither
stepped in. Let's be clear.
Neither said, yo, neither said, hey, bro, back up. Sit your ass down.
But then men will be like, why black women say they don't feel protected?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, listen, feel what you want about her music. Feel what you want about her music. Because if we're gonna throw it out there that her music invites, that's good. I don't want to hear nobody talking about John Morant. Well, he just young and he playing with a gun, and that don't give nobody the right to run up on him. Or I know he a rapper and he just expressing himself artistically. That don't mean he really about that life. You know, he married and got a family. No. If your lyrics can invite energy, if her lyrics and present can invite energy, which it does, I don't want to hear dudes defending dudes and then turn around and try to go at the women when their energy invites this, if that's the argument we're going to make. Now, women want to hold the woman accountable. We know certain things, and I'm going to let the women go in on that. But as a man, when I just saw that, these dudes so thirsty. Like y'all ain't never seen no pussy? Y'all ain't never seen no pussy before?
Well, I think the way her lyrics are in such a way that because she's vulgar, they want to be vulgar with her.
Right.
And because she doesn't have any filters in that way, it's like they want to feed raw for raw, which again, whatever you want to say to her, if she is okay with the banter back and forth, that's one thing. But to come up and grope her is crossing a line. And the fact that the other ones just sat there, it was almost like they thought, like, I'm going to say, I believe, and it's my opinion, if it would have been another woman, if it would have been a woman that they, in their minds, viewed through a different lens, and somebody would have come and done that, if it would have been Sierra or another woman,
No. Okay. And had that
married woman is different altogether.
Okay.
But I'm saying if it was Megan Good, if it would have been Lori Harvey,
that wouldn't have happened. There's no way.
There's no way that they would have found that acceptable. But in this instance, they felt as though whether they were looking down or whether it was she deserves, or whether they thought she would just be cool with it. But regardless, they allowed it to happen. And what I would say for her is a lack of boundaries invites a lack of respect. And if you don't have some form of line, this like ha 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 ends here, right? If you don't have any form of boundaries, people are going to.
And I don't think by that she's saying it's justified. She's just saying it does invite, like, dudes will try those that appear to have less of a boundary. I agree with that. It's not saying it's justified. I'm not saying it's okay.
I can't agree with that.
I'm a man.
I know, but I'm telling
I know
you,
dudes.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is there are many men who don't care, especially in this day and age, because hookup culture has become so much more popular. There's I mean, it takes me back to, like, you think about your Freakniks. Those men that were there, they just grew up. They didn't change. They just grew up. Mm. Those same men out here trying everybody. They don't care. They don't care if you're a little bit vulgar. They don't care if you're a little bit safe. A predatory dude is just a predatory dude. Mm. So the thing I think a lot of people miss about famous folks, about stars, is that their fandom, what they're famous about is a persona. So just because someone, like, everybody had so much to say about Cardi B when she was out, but Cardi B be everywhere with who? Her husband.
Her husband, yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, she talking about this, she talking about this. Why can't she be like Jhené Aiko? Have y'all listened to Jhené Aiko's lyrics? Right. And that's why I be like, sir, what are you talking about? All she does is say the same vulgar stuff in a sweet voice. But men will respect her.
So, well, okay. Well, what I want to know is this then. Okay, and I'm gonna
no, I don't like. Wait, hold on. Both women. Who were the two women you just compared?
I was talking about Cardi B and Jhené Aiko.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
Here's one thing I want to.
I was like, no.
Here's one thing I want to throw in there real quick. Okay, so predators don't try anybody. Let's be clear. And hold on, listen to what I'm saying, because this is proven, and I can run video after video. Predators choose those that appear to be the most vulnerable and available to them. I'm telling you now. It's like even they talk about with children. They don't pick any child. They pick the child that's by themselves, that's a little lost, that's a little lonely, that's a little available. The parents, and you know what I'm saying? So with boundaries, like I agree with Nicole, those dudes are more likely. Now, of course, if they get desperate enough, they'll try anybody. But they look for those that seem to invite that energy a bit more than those that don't. And I'm not saying that, and nobody's saying that it justifies it.
Absolutely.
But those dudes are so, to me, just to me as a dude, I'm like, there's nothing that a woman has ever been. I can't identify.
That they're thirsty? Is it that they're thirsty, or is it that they're not used to hearing no?
I think it's both.
Both.
So I think that there's a level that you're used to being able to do whatever you walk around unchecked.
Yes.
Yeah.
And therefore, again, you just think, and he thought it was funny. He went and dapped somebody up after.
Yeah,
and that's what it is.
She talked that shit. She talked that shit. I'm finna try. I'm finna see if it's right. Go ahead, Frank. Jump in there. You've been quiet. Go ahead, because he finna say something.
I got daughters. That's what it's right there.
Here you go.
No, I'm not gonna include them because I have sit-down conversations with my daughters about boundaries and standards and enforcing those boundaries and standards. We got that squared away. So my daughters ain't out here inadvertently inviting creeps because of the persona that they portray. Now, what I want to say is all this is, and then you were right, Chef. I agree with you when you were saying about niggas and freaking. They just got older, but they still the same. Some people do tend to change. It does happen. But the culture doesn't change. You just got new people being introduced to it as years go by. The stuff that was shown in the video, seen it all the time in high school. You see it all the time in college. See it all the time in clubs, different atmospheres. What I was going to say is there's a reason why certain women are led into the clubs. And those women are usually the ones that are more naked than the average conservative woman. A woman will be led inside of a club with her titties out way faster than a woman with a turtleneck on. Mm-hmm. And they can have the same body.
Same body.
It's the image. It's the message that resonate with creeps. She's available. Her standards are low. Because the same thing that a responsible man would teach his daughters is the same thing that an older creep will teach a younger creep. You go after the ones that has less that seem to have less value. I mean, less
standards, less boundaries,
yeah,
less standards. Yeah.
Because she don't have any standards, she don't have any boundaries.
Yeah.
And
that's what I was saying. As a man, I know. Listen, y'all know I got to be honest. Now I'm not gonna go. I'm just saying we think about these kind of things not on this level, just this particular level, but even just in the regular dating. It's like, man, I know I can't try her like that. I know I got to go knock on her door when I go pick her up. She got standards. I know I can't just invite her to the crib on the first date.
That should be a whole topic right there.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's real talk. It's like what he's saying. When you know somebody have standards, you treat them accordingly. And if you want to take the easy route as a man, sometimes, which we sometimes do, which I know I have, I'm gonna take this easy route over here. She don't require as much. So I think in a more to the video we just showed, those creeps are more likely to try those. I didn't want to interrupt your point, Frank. I was just trying to add on to the point, but go ahead and finish up.
No, it's cool. That's the point. And another thing that I want to, this is something that I've never seen an honest conversation about reality, the reality of what is. Mm-hmm. Whenever we talk about situations like this, yes, niggas should know better. He should. I 100% agree. But a lot of niggas don't. Mm-hmm. So they know better, and they choose not to do better.
Yeah,
that's the reality of what is.
That's the reality.
So because that's the reality of what is, what should doesn't apply. What should is wishful thinking. Mm-hmm. So
but that's not fair, though.
But life ain't fair. The world ain't fair.
It's definitely not fair.
But at the same time, it's like, and I have one girl, my daughter, and it kind of pained me to have to sit down and have conversations with her about consent and how she has to protect herself. Because, now I'm having to send her out into the world kind of afraid of guys. And it's like, then the one guy who is pressed that you're taking these extra steps to safeguard yourself, he feels like he's put under a microscope and has been charged, being as guilty before proven innocent. So it just creates this cycle of people who are unjustly accused And I'm not saying they're actually accused so much as the fear of being accused, even though they've done nothing wrong. And then people having to I don't know. It's just.
I hear
it's
no.
hard to get
You're making a very good point, because I remember when I got to the dating scene after being married for years, and I've shared this before. Women repeatedly asked me, "Who did I live with?" They kept asking me this. Now, I hadn't been a bachelor long enough to understand why an adult that's 30-something years old with children, why are y'all asking me who I live with? But women had to break it down to me. Well, we're out here and we're dating, and that is now a question you have to ask, because he might be living with his baby mama, might be living with his brother, might be living with a boyfriend, living with we don't know. We ask these questions. So it's not a slight unto you. This is self-preservation over here.
Right. Well, and I also think we have become a society that has been so socialized that we take for granted that women used to not be able to walk down the street alone at night. We used to not be able to do that. Okay. And today, women not only are walking down the street alone at night, are walking down the street alone, wearing next to nothing, while inebriated, hitchhiking. Like, we just keep adding and adding and adding and adding onto it, not realizing that, again, not every man is a predator, but they are out here. And you cannot just be out here like you're wagging things in front of people's faces. And you're wagging things in front of people's faces who were not raised by fathers with a level of chivalry, who were not raised by fathers with a level of respect for themselves and others, with self-control. Like, if they didn't see that growing up, some of these things are just not taught. And it's showing in what we're seeing.
I can't think of very many instances where any woman is walking down the street by herself drunk. She may be with her girls.
What? No,
by herself.
Yes.
Like, that must be this new generation, child. Because
but it is. I mean, I've been in places.
Wow.
I have been in places with girlfriends.
We be drunk together, but we ain't going by ourselves.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've been in places where people are like leaving, and there'll be somebody just. And I'm like, where is her friend? Where are her friends?
You know what, Nicole? You make. I was meeting a friend in Dallas some years and years back, and her and I were there, and she was there with two other friends. One of her friends, so I'm talking to her. Me and her already knew each other. Two other friends were there, and I was totally sober. They had already been there drinking. The ladies had been having a good time, and it's the amazing thing when you're totally sober. Your hearing is better than everybody because everybody's loud. And I'm a few seats away from these guys, and I hear these dudes. They're talking about how drunk her friend was. They're like, "Oh yeah, that one's good to go. Yeah, that one's good to go." And then I heard, "Well, she's about to leave with that guy." And I'm listening, and I said, "Yo, I need you to drink some water." And I'm tapping her because I couldn't stay. I'm like, "I need you to drink some water." Why I'm having good? I said, listen to me, just listen. And I put it, I said, those guys, I don't know what they think and what they plotting, but they don't think tonight's going to end at the bar. So sober up. Come on. Sober on up, get a drink of water. Let's, order some coffee if we need to, and it's easy for a woman to, "Oh, girls, I'm good." And they stay at the bar with the guys, and because it's easy. It happens all the time.
And again, that was a couple of years ago. We have gotten progressively worse in 2 years. Trina, growing up, Trina was the most vulgar thing. Mm-hmm. Like, Little Kim was like the most vulgar. Today, listening to her, that is like, today there is nothing left to the imagination. Absolutely nothing. And you have some men, not all men, some men believe that they have the right. If you are putting it out there, they have the right to it. It is their animal instinct. Animal instinct. And some women are just forgetting that. And they're paying. And truth be told, as we continue there, like we have a spiral to the bottom for a lot of women today. We're all paying because again, as women act and move this way, they're looking at all of us like we're one big club, and it's like no,
Right.
This is not a monolith. Like we over here.
And it's unfortunate that women that are not with the shit gotta even broadcast. Whoa, try somebody else. Don't try it over here. You know, because dudes get the thirst. I mean, there's a level of thirst, man. Y'all gotta realize. Listen, y'all women also gotta realize, man. Men ain't having as much sex as they was back in the day. I ain't trying to warn y'all, but some of these dudes, man, they run around like dogs with that peak thing hanging out, man. They want something. They want something.
And I find that so hard to believe. I do believe it. I do believe it.
It's true.
But with the amount of with people making music like this that are moving like this, who don't seem to like it doesn't seem to matter to them, you know, like that's their niche.
You would assume that more people are just getting it in, that it's a free for all. No, most
that's
men.
The thing. It's like this type of music isn't new.
No, it's not.
The amount of women rapping about it, that's a little. It has like.
Then that's the type of music that is new, like women socializing this, like even when Diddy came out with the Act Bad last week or the week before, I'm like. I hate this for younger women, that this is a culture of act bad for bags and shoes. Like this, like get naked in a club with money.
That part isn't new. So
being socialized to the level in which it is new. Like growing up, there weren't a bunch of my friends who wanted to be Little Kim growing up. How many of your friends did? Huh? There were plenty of your. See, that was not. They didn't.
Wait, but you know what? This is gonna segue exactly into what I think Frank wanted to talk about a little bit. The normalization of hoeing. Like it's like they're trying to normalize this idea that, you know what, put it all out there and get as much as you can from it and enjoy everything right now. And like nobody's discussing the possible ramification.
But that's the thing I think people are missing. Everybody's thinking it's new, but it's not. It's more accessible because of social media. Literally, all of these things have been happening in pockets around the country for decades. There have always been the vulgar women out here. There always been. Everybody knew who the hoes were in school. We knew. It's been a thing this whole time. It's just that social media makes it more accessible, so it feels like it's more.
But I would say this: do you not think with the proliferation of social media that more people are emboldened on both sides, men and women?
No,
the numbers.
No, because the reason why you got to look back 60s and 70s, Studio 54. All of that stuff that was going on.
That was wild, boy.
They were wild.
Go watch the Studio 64 documentary if y'all ain't. Boy,
everybody was on drugs. I think it was worse back then because you didn't have cameras, you didn't have social media. So with social media now, it feels like it's more. When I don't think it actually is. Just like you said, it's a lot of men out here. You think with so much going on, everybody getting laid, but they're not.
No, yeah,
it's not. But on social media, you would think it is.
Right.
So that's why I think it's blown out of proportion a little bit. It's happening,
and it still needs to be addressed. The whole thing is we want to at least just to the cringe dudes out there.
Get Frank.
Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead.
Here's the difference between then and now. Back then, there were locations that was reserved for that.
Trapeze.
Studio 64.
Wait a minute. People,
Yeah.
people were not spilling out into the street in celebration of it. The boldness is what's different. Now, of course, we have Freaknik and all that stuff.
We might be right, because Audacity is the new thing now. Remember, Audacity is on sale.
But
It's
the
free.
thing
No,
is,
it's at a 52-week high.
even down to we didn't know who the freak was in high school, but she was still ashamed to have that reputation. Yes.
Yeah. Listen, do you know what kind of fights broke out if you said a woman sucked in high school? I've witnessed them fights break out. I can name names of some.
I went to a hood high school, so they wasn't ashamed at my school at all.
Man, that was the one that listen.
The only thing they were ashamed about was being pregnant. That was it.
It used to be a rumor, like being hoeing around. It used to be a rumor. You know what I'm saying? Like people prefer they didn't prefer for it to be a rumor. Well, yeah, they prefer for it to be a rumor than it to be a known fact about them. Now they volunteer their information.
Them children was knocking off teachers in school and talking about it. So that's why I'm just like, nah, where I went to school at.
You went to school in hell?
He said what?
You went to school in hell, Sheffy.
Don't talk about my alma mater like that.
Damn. Was a principal
but look, CL Samuels make a good CL Samuels makes a good point. He's saying now it's more of a lifestyle now. Like it seems to be just this ongoing,
that's it. But the problem is, like, even way back, let's go back to the Bridgerton days. Okay. You would have people in a parlor, and then you would have society, right? The problem today is people act bad, but then still want you to hold the door open for them and hold the umbrella over her head and treat her like she's your mom. You can't get both. You can't get both.
Why can't you though? Why can't you?
Sheffy.
No, I'm being really serious. And the reason
you believe, I'm trying to understand your perspective. You believe it's okay to be sexually liberated with everyone, and that every man would then treat you like
that's not what I'm saying.
Like
I didn't say
queen?
that at all. Okay. So on the whole Sukihana thing and just hoeing in general, just because someone is sexually liberated does not mean they're sexually liberated with everyone. Just because she writes a song about what she brings to the table sexually doesn't mean she's doing that with everyone. So why is she now suddenly devalued?
Well, because when you walk into a room and tell somebody that, like, the things that she says to men while in rooms with men would then you're making it harder if you were her boyfriend, right? She has been in rooms saying, I'll put your face here and take me back here and I'll do this to you. And you're not acting like a lady. You're not acting like it would be harder to protect.
So let me jump back.
But I just don't agree with this political correctness.
I just think what you do behind closed doors I just think what you do in the privacy of your home is in the privacy of your home.
That's fair. But again,
I just think when you put it out here in the street and act a certain way, people are going to treat you a certain way. It's not right. It's not wrong. But the more we start acting like that, and as women, we're so liberated, which again, I'm all for people being liberated. But then
here's the line, because
that's my point. There has to be one.
Hold on.
There has to be one.
Where's the line of where that stops? Because if you look at us as Black people, if I show up to a job interview with my hair like this, the conversation is, well, if you want to be accepted, maybe you should have straightened your hair. So where does this policing people thing stop?
I think that we have always policed sexuality in our country.
So here's what I think, and I want to kind of go in the middle of what everybody's saying. Frank's saying that there was always there used to be places, a time and place. I do think that when you talk about certain things, no matter who you are, man, woman, anybody, when you openly express that you partake in something or you make people think that you partake in a particular lifestyle, people want to test that. It don't matter what that lifestyle is. If you are a young Black man and you are a basketball player and you on the court and you get live and you start throwing up gang signs, and there's a real gangster that wants to test and see if you about that life. If you're a woman talking about I love to eat ass and yuck dick and I want to da-da-da-da-da, there's a real cringy creep that wants to come and test you and see if you about that life. So whatever you put out, you don't have the luxury to throw it all out there and then say, whoa, I'm just playing. My mama said I can't get my hair wet today. No. It don't work like that. And I'm not saying it's okay for men to do it. I'm just saying, as women and men, as people in general, when you put something out there, you need to be ready for when you go into the world to check motherfuckers that's going to try you. She needs to be prepared to have she should have a military grade stunner on her. So when dude came and did all that, and he would have started shaking and he would have fell the fuck back, and she would just did. And then when he laying on the ground, you just put on your lip gloss like, oh, I don't know what
and
happened.
And then she said she came out with a post today saying that she doesn't know how to stand up for herself or doesn't know how to, like, she's emotional about it, and that she drinks because she's emotional, which almost means like you're kind of numbing, to not deal with whatever it is that you're feeling. Right. That's a whole different conversation in and of itself. But her comment today was very, I don't know how to stand up for myself, which you wouldn't think at all by the words that she says, which also comes to it's a facade.
Like, and that's what I said. A lot of people don't realize that the famous people, this is a persona. This is not who they actually are. Her persona is Sukihana. That ain't her real name.
And but what dude said in the damn interview, he said, I'm from Atlanta, girl. I'm the one that's gonna try you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you talk all that shit. That's what you want. I'm real. Like, bro,
it was too much. Like, one thing I gotta say, y'all, your boy Umar, his response to Suki when she came out talking about she wanted to try him, he gave the most diplomatic and gentleman-like response I have ever heard a man give a woman. Who, I mean, she basically said, for all intents and purposes, she would love to have sex with him. And he was like, you can come on, queen, but just know when you get over here, it's going to be some changes. And there are some things you're going to have to conform to, but because I'm all about building my Pan-African heritage over here. And I was like, dang, Umar, like, you gonna get a wife talking about the way you just came at her.
Let me tell you who would have said something like that. You want to know who would have said something like that? I'm finna put him right here on Front Street right now. Him. Let me drag him on over here. I'm gonna drag him right there. Do you know?
This nigga, man.
Do you know? I threw this man in the fiery furnace. I threw this man in the lion den. And you know how David walked out of the lion den? I threw this man in the lion den with some things before. And he tried to deliver a woman to Jesus instead of getting his tongue sucked. No, hell no. I was mad as hell. Yeah. This girl, I'm finna put him out there. The girl told him, I want to suck your tongue. He asked her, what's your relationship like with Christ? When he told me that, when he told me that, I was ready to end the friendship. And look at him. He regret it now. Look at him.
Hey,
we ain't finna get me in trouble, man.
don't let Manuel make
finna
you
relive.
vulgar. You stay with Christ, baby.
Yeah, man. I mean, but he there are guys like that, but it's not a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't a lot because I ain't got a lot of homeboys that would have been in that situation that would have let old girl about that room without fulfilling whatever she wanted to fulfill.
I mean, I just for me, I'm all about what's fair, and because I know if we're policing women to the point where a woman can't even speak on herself in a way that's comfortable. And no, I'm not saying she got to be vulgar and tell you the circumference of her vajayjay. Yeah. But if we're policing women to that effect where, well, you can't be safe because you did this, that, and the other, this is no different than, I think it was another post down here that talked about racial profiling.
Yeah.
And, even profiling on the job. It doesn't stop with just women or just black women. It goes into so many other things where people feel emboldened.
Janice made that point. She made the point about police profiling.
So it's like, well, because they do something that you gonna get tried. Okay, well, because I'm black, I'm gonna get shot. Is that what we're saying? Because
no, but I think what I'm saying is that if we say that women should be able to say whatever lyrics she wants to say, understand whatever. But that's why when she came into the interview with Candy, those guys were saying those things to her because you have normalized that this language is okay. It is okay for us to speak. It's okay for you to speak in this manner. So it's okay for us to speak to you in this manner. You have normalized it. You have socialized it.
So because black people have normalized and socialized the N-word, that means white people can call us that too?
Well, what I'm saying is that's why they believe. That's what. Wait.
But you know what? It happens.
That's why they believe.
Yep, it happens.
That's why they believe.
Yeah,
absolutely, they do. If you call yourself a B word, right? If you call yourself a B word, right? And everything is be this. Oh, hey, B, da da da. When a man calls you that, you can't be upset. You have normalized it.
Right.
So now whether somebody should take action, whether somebody should touch you, grope you, now you've crossed the line of you're physically invading my space, right? But the things that he says to her, the way that he said it to her, it was because she had normalized that kind of language, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so I say, if I put on a police uniform and walk out into the middle of an intersection, all approaching cars are going to stop. They recognize the uniform.
Arrested for impersonating a police officer.
Huh? What you say?
You gonna get arrested for impersonating a police officer. They actually
before I get caught, the first initial reaction of commuters is they're gonna stop and wait for direction. Because there's a reason why it's the cops standing in the middle of this intersection. Now I know I'm not one. They don't. So it's what I present to them is what they're going to conform
to. Yeah.
And I get it. I'm not saying you guys are wrong in that. I'm just like, because I know I feel the same way about people in bonnets and pajamas in public.
Right.
But I don't know. It's just like, okay, where is
I do see. You're Sheffy is you're appealing to the humanity of it. Like, come on, be human. We animals, girl. What's wrong with you? Don't get it twisted.
And that's my point is that we are animals, and that's That's the point that I don't think women. I think women have forgotten that. That in the end, we are still animals.
Every time my old lady forget I'm an animal,
we are still animals. And so if you forget that, you can end up in the wrong place at the wrong time around the wrong people, and bad things happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shoot. Don't get anyway.
For me, it's just trying to find that balance between what is too. Just because somebody says something doesn't mean they deserve some type of behavior.
I don't think somebody deserves it. I'm not.
No,
I'm
no,
never
there's
going to
no-
say
there's
somebody
definitely no
deserved.
deserve it.
I will never say that somebody deserves it.
Just
But
be prepared.
but you increase your probabilities.
Exactly.
It's
And
the
just be
law of
prepared.
averages. You
Yeah,
are
and just be
increasing your
prepared.
probability for something negative to happen.
That's fair.
All right. So
Even
now,
now, let me say
Go ahead.
one thing. Even now, at 41 years old, I adapt to whatever environment I'm in. If I'm in the corporate setting, I'm professional. When I'm in a place out, I live in Decatur. Certain areas in Decatur that I may go to, if it's a certain element of niggas in there,
You would.
yeah.
like I'm not this, you know what I'm saying? I'm not this goofy nigga. I'm standing there and I'm watching everything. My head is on a swivel, and I have this. I create this this facade of, oh, he one of us too,
Right.
because I know that if I walk in there,
Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey.
Can I have one weed, please?
Can you show me? Hey, show me where the juice is. Yeah, I'm at the corner store. I don't know where I am.
Can I have some syrup?
so
You know what I'm saying?
I'm more tense. Like, Newt, our homeboy we grew up with, he had his old lady threw him a birthday party in December, his birthday, and it was over on the west side.
Oh Lord.
Yep.
Man, I walked up and down. I was like, man, we're around these type of niggas. Okay.
All right, let me go ahead and get let me get right.
Yeah, it's like, so let me revert back to the street that I grew up to. Let me revert back to Hooper Street and let me slide in, because some a handful of these niggas know me, but majority of them don't.
Right.
So what I'm going to present to them is, you might not want to try.
Super thug. Yeah, like me. That's why y'all know. Y'all already know. Shit.
So I mean, it shouldn't be that way, but that's the reality.
Yeah.
So if I tell myself weak, I'm gonna be trying.
I want to jump into this next one.
Are we gonna talk about Zion Zell?
Oh yeah, because I want to understand.
Right, that nigga home.
Is this so? Do we have a new thing going on? Like,
gotta be.
Are these new dudes? I don't know.
That whole draft class. Throw the whole draft class away.
but no, because Freddie Gibbs, he's a rapper, and he got a adult film star baby mama situation too. Yeah. We finna get both of them, but first, man, that boy Zion, man.
Y'all gotta let me know. Is Zion player of the year? I mean, off the court, not on the court.
Say what they want.
The nigga ain't never in the game.
What they out here doing?
But anyway, he has gotten exposed again by another Instagram model. This nigga's going 3 for 3. He trying to three-peat. Now, she got pictures of Zion laying in the bed and all type of stuff. But before we get into that, let me introduce her to you. This is Yamil X Taylor, who was at the game when the Pelicans was playing the Lakers. She got Zion's jersey on. You see, she wearing number 1, but she's really number 3. And I bet you Zion paid for that chain too. You know he bought her that Cuban. She letting the ponytail move. I see you, boo. Now back to what we came for. Yamil X was exposing Zion all over Instagram. She posted this picture on her story and said, and be laying around sleeping comfortably, knowing you have chicks pregnant. Ugh, disgusting. She went on to say, someone tell my good sis Mariah, if y'all remember, Mariah is the other girl who exposed him after this video he posted of his new baby mama that he playing house with, all right? The girl in the picture above me. So tell my good sis Mariah, if he move you to New Orleans, I'll move in with you. I'm just an aspiring microblading artist. What's microblading? I don't even want him to touch me no more. Laugh my butt off. I can't live with the other bum though. Baby girl, it's beneath me. Beneath me. She also said, and this ain't nothing to do with no clout. They all want to say they not clout chasers, but you posting everything to social media. I'm just saying. I get my own money in real life and never been a prosty or sold my body. You outside buying hoes Cullinans who didn't have 100K to their name when you met them. Why didn't I get my Bentayga and my Richard Mille last summer at Zion? Oh, so now you mad. You ain't get you your purse and your watch? Because I don't let you record me? I never gave you a threesome or never had a OnlyFans or was on Pornhub? So I guess I was all play. I probably never had a chance. You a nasty sex addict. And also, while she talking crazy like this, she also had Zion's name tatted. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's right there underneath this logo. Shout out to Boss Palace, but you can see it say Zion right under her thigh right here, okay?
Yeah, that done
right
in jail.
there, right there, right there. So yeah, you wasn't doing a lot of freaky stuff, but you still got the name tatted. Not to say she don't deserve her respect for, you know, keeping it classy. I'll give her that. But still, you jumping on the hate train to try to expose him. And I wonder if this is going to become a trend. Are we going to see more females come out and say, Zion was, you know, screwing girls all over America? You know, but I said a lot of stuff in my last video about Zion being unexperienced. But, I mean, if he was messing with all of these chicks, he got to know something. You know, I don't know if he a sex addict like Shorty said, but he's definitely a player. And thank God this girl is not talking about she pregnant too, because the Mariah girl in my last video already saying she might be pregnant. So at least he ain't got 3 girls pregnant, but it's not a good look for Zion, man. Especially after the last girl came out, all right? So we'll see if we get girl number 4, girl number 5, girl number 6. Let me know what y'all think about this. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
I don't know, man. With these young guys, it seemed like he was just having his fun with as many as he could. A young dude, but when you mess with adult film stars and when you mess with those that have nothing to lose, you really set yourself up for a situation of exposure. Now, before we get into our other part, I want to play this Freddie Gibbs part, and then we're gonna really get into it because he's another one in a situation where Freddie Gibbs dating this woman, and from what it looks like, they were in a real relationship. But the moment she becomes pregnant, he's acting a whole different dude. And I'm imagining because she's an adult film star. And who wants to have an adult film star as their baby mama? Like,
damn!
Dudes ain't really signed
I
up
hate
for
it
that.
had to be him. Damn! Freddie, my nigga, man, I hate it had to be him. So, folks, bro, it all started yesterday, man, when Freddie Gibbs' ex-girlfriend, current baby mother, or alleged baby mother, took to her Twitter, man, to pretty much expose Freddie. Her idea of exposing is posting receipts that Freddie Gibbs was asking her to have his baby, asking her to marry him, right? Pretty much just posting receipts of Freddie Gibbs macking, bro. Listen, these chicks don't understand macking. Any real ninja looking at those receipts, bro, we know what's up, bro. Freddie Gibbs is selling her a dream, man. You feel me? Because his goal was, I'm going to clap these cheeks for as long as I can clap these cheeks without really giving her any type of commitment. So Freddie Gibbs telling her, bro, I want to marry you. I can wait. Oh, I can wait to have a baby with you. Bruh, she out here replying back with period, poo. Period. She eating that ish up, man. But one night Freddie Gibbs ain't pull out, the chick got pregnant. Freddie Gibbs like, hold up now, bruh. I'm not ready for no kid, bro. You got to go to the clinic, man. You feel me? Here, go to the clinic. The chick took the money, went to the clinic. She thought she was earlier in her pregnancy than she, thought. But it turns out, like, her pregnancy was actually about, like, 6 months at the time. So once she found out that it was actually 6 months and it was not earlier, like she assumed, she said, bro, I can't go through with this, man. Bro, I can hear my kid heartbeat. I can't go through with this, man. So then she tried to tell Freddie, yo, I ain't go through with it. But Freddie ain't picking up. Freddie ain't reaching back. Freddie blocked her. But here's the thing, though. The timeline she gave, she's currently about 7 to 8 months pregnant. She did Plug Talk back in February.
I agree. So what is the craziest thing that you've ever done on camera?
On camera? Probably Plug Talk.
What happened on Plug Talk?
So it was a scene with me and James Angel and Air Thugger. And the reason why I say it's the craziest thing I've ever done is because at one point I had like 2 in my mouth at the same time.
Wow.
I looked so cute though. It was like a really good photo, a really good video. But
Can't hear you, Manuel.
I'm gonna stop it right there. Who wants the baby mama that was just on video talking? At one point I had 2 in my mouth, but I look really cute though. Raise your hand if you want that. Right? You wouldn't be okay, right?
But wait, you said she was closer to 6 months, but that thing said 12 weeks. That's 3 months, baby. I need him to count.
Look.
All I'm going to say is remember earlier in the conversation, we said how women dress and do things a certain way. It doesn't make it right, but it increases their probability of something bad happening, right? When you choose to go this way as a man and choose to pay for love, okay, that isn't love, but you're going to pay for it because you want a real life in your bed. Understand that you are increasing your probabilities and increasing them significantly because whatever stream of income they have, a lot of them do not have a 401k. Just speaking, the accountant in me, the economics, like let's talk about macro here. You are a walking, talking annuity. That's how they view it. So if they can mess with you and get a baby, that's an 18-year annuity, compounding annually. And you are putting yourself at risk as an annuity plan.
And looking lame.
Because think about it. Drake was the first one who got caught, which y'all should have realized at that point that it could happen.
Oh, and somebody said Drake.
Drake was the first one.
Been a whole lane for a long time because he but a whole bunch of
but Drake got plenty of money. Okay, he could throw, and she's in a whole nother country, so he don't have to see her out and about with whoever else, whatever. But at that point, men who are logical. Y'all claim to be logical, should start saying, wow, this can happen. Wow, this woman can get me. Do I want this woman? Because beyond the fact that you now have an annuity that you now have to pay, you now have a child mixing DNA. You have now created a child with new DNA in with this mix and the trauma and everything else that comes along with this mix. Like, let's be clear here. These men aren't, getting these women and saying, okay, I want sole custody of these children. I'm going to take the child with me. No. Annuity plan. 401k.
I always find it interesting how dudes are, and I literally made a post about this today. I said it's okay to be reckless when you're okay with accountability.
Mm-hmm.
But when you out here want to be reckless and then be like, oh, well, wait, I didn't know that was going to happen. Sir, you put your penis raw in her and you didn't think something might happen? I mean,
in a porn star.
I'm
going to say that again.
From Pinky and Mr. Marcus and all of them, when they all got that fire, y'all didn't learn nothing then? And that was like a decade ago. So I'm confused. And it kills me because you know, I'm an advocate for my brothers. I try to stick up for y'all as much as I can because I do think there are a whole lot of things that are unfair in the world that are targeted at men.
As do I.
I can't be an ally when y'all being stupid.
I can't either.
Y'all gonna take this L. Y'all gonna have to take this.
I ain't taking this L.
I ain't never been no man like that.
This is y'all species. Y'all take
the
this
men.
L
No, that's one thing I would not do.
No, men
I've
are taking
always
this
been
L.
very selective.
No, because these men are out here every day talking about wifey material, how women should act, dress, how we, you know, high value men don't want women who act like X, Y, and Z. Women who have children are not desirable.
Come on.
Don't claim them
Come
niggas.
on. Come
Don't claim them
on.
niggas.
Hold on, wait. Now. I'm not the red pill aficionado guru or nothing. But one thing has been made clear. Athletes and entertainers are not high value men. They're
not.
Men, they're rich dudes. That usually don't. They're not considered. It's not the same.
Okay, but listen. There's a difference between a high value man and a man of high values.
Yeah,
they are not the same.
Wait. But hold on. Forget all for the nuance that. Let me tell you. By the definition that these dudes came up with for a high value man, and as and it's broken down pretty, and all of them stick to it. Athletes and entertainers don't qualify because they don't build themselves through the same rigors as businessmen, as hard workers, as those men who get to that money and get to that status in their 40s. So
these people have been playing these games since they were 8 years old, 5 years old, 3 years old. They have worked very hard to get there.
No. Here's the difference. A 40-year-old man who comes into money in his 40s does not remotely take the same risks as those men who come into money at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. They don't move the same. It's not the same. So they're not the same. So let's be careful with that terminology. Zion is not what they would consider a high value man. Freddie Gibbs is not what they would consider a high value man. Robert Smith, the billionaire, is what they would consider a high value man. They're different.
Again, I just think men with money, like to me, just because you have money does not make you high value, period.
No. And I'm not saying it does, but I'm saying there's a distinction between the athletes and the entertainers.
What I'm saying is that there is a segment of society that goes out of their way to demean women.
Yep.
To make them feel less than, unqualified for. However, these are still the women, like these women right here are still getting shows. These women out here, they're still winning. And whether it's men and whether men are spewing this from a place of, I had a dude, I was on a post today. And there was this woman who was being disrespectful, and she said that she got a nice guy and he wouldn't put her in her place and this and the other. And the guy's post was something like, women need to know their place and before I have to stoop down to your level. And I was like, okay, well, let's speak of where you're stooping from. Okay, like I believe a lack of boundaries invites a lack of respect. You need to have boundaries, but I believe a man can enforce boundaries and without, he was saying, because I'll cuss you out, I'll call you out your name. No, you see, that's
not,
what you don't have. You see, again,
you're not that guy.
Like, if you are comfortable with your masculinity, you can enforce your boundary without, like Umar. There's some things we're just not going to do over here.
You don't stoop down and curse out and do all that. You leave her where she is.
That's someone who was looking for a reason. All he needs is a reason.
Right.
Exactly. But again, some men don't even see that there's some unhealed hurt there within themselves that they want to project out towards women being less than, devalued, or whatever, when they really need to heal that within themselves. But in this instance, again, it's another set of, these men have to be held accountable. You say you want one thing, y'all are out here promoting and doing whatever with these women.
Well, apparently though,
you got what you wanted, now you don't want what you got.
To Nicole's point, these same women who they're messing with and having babies with and whatever, these women, I don't want to say they get passed around, but because it doesn't even have to be a sexual thing, right? These women are, did y'all ever watch that episode of The Game way back in the day when what's his name was talking about, they had a list of women who were approved to date the athletes? That's basically what it is. No. So seriously.
No, it is a thing.
So this is not an outlying thing, because those women are able to get those same type of men over and over. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, so it's an imaginary standard that they're talking about on social media is what I'm saying. It's imaginary.
I do think so, but let me back up a little bit. Zion Williamson is 23, I think.
Really? He like 40.
Yeah. From what I understand, he comes from some part of North Carolina. Like New Orleans is a big city for him. I've seen the dude in person. He's a huge guy. I ran into him in Target. Huge dude. He just looks like a big kid. But they were talking about the way he dressed and carried himself, and they had this meme up in this outfit he had on, and they was like,
so ridiculous.
Based on that outfit alone, women knew he was a lame with money. Now, I want to compare this to what these high value men are that a lot of these red pill dudes ain't.
You about to compare this to Drake?
Let's be clear.
No.
We've done that already.
No, I'm moving athletes and entertainers out of it, because high value isn't just about the money. It's about the connections. It's about the way you move. It's about all these other, and that takes time. You don't get to become a high value just because you were the number one draft pick. LeBron James was not a high value man as a number one draft pick. LeBron James became a high value man as he aged, built a business, built an empire with all those resources. So now he's in there because the man is 38 years old, and look how he moves. He would be considered high value by high value men's standards. Wait, hold on, Nicole. Now, again, I say I add people like Magic Johnson would be considered a high value man, not when Magic Johnson was a young man in the Lakers running around slinging his dick everywhere, which led to what we know it led to. No, not then. So this high value classification isn't just for dudes that got a bunch of money. And I don't think that the high value man preachers are referring to the Zion Williamsons of the world.
But they are. We understand the truth of what you're saying.
So you're saying that those guys are applying those standards to those.
Jeff Bezos
yes, they absolutely are.
Jeff Bezos' current fiance has children.
Outlier.
Been married.
Extreme outlier.
She's not at all.
No, not like, what do you mean extreme?
Not at all.
Like
how often? Okay, how often does a billionaire billion times over wife the woman? How often does a millionaire a million times over wife the woman that already has? Like
what I would tell you is that a lot of these millionaires and billionaires are
First of all, let's
socially
also
awkward.
clarify that Jeff Bezos' fiance, he stole her from her husband.
That's what I'm talking about.
So they were. So y'all don't remember when it all came out?
That's what I'm talking about, Jeff.
Him and his wife were friends with what's her name and her husband.
Yes.
So yeah, it was an affair.
No,
which kind of makes the point even further because wouldn't, if she was a regular woman, she would just be considered some hoe because she was messing around on her husband with him.
But I mean, what I'm trying to say is these are the extreme 1% of the 1%.
They're not though.
Man, that's not regular, man. That's not regular.
Let me explain it to you. And now this may be different in the black community. I'll say that. But on the other side of the fence, just like you see women are more likely to marry a man that has been married, those men are more likely to marry a woman that already has children.
Absolutely.
But wasn't she married?
Yes, she might have been.
That's a difference. That's a difference. That a lot of time is a difference.
I will agree. I will agree with that.
Yeah, that's because let's see. And again, this is where the red pill is they don't know what they're talking about. Because as men that date, as a man that's done this over and over, I can tell you very clearly, the judging when you meet a woman, oh yeah, hey, how you doing? Yeah, you got children? Yeah, I got children. My children are this. Oh, my children are this. Oh yeah, I was married. Me and my ex-husband had 3 kids. That woman is on, I'm sorry, women, y'all gonna have to eat this today.
I agree.
That woman is on a certain level. The woman that had kids with her husband, she's here. The woman that had kids, a 4 for 4, they got a bunch of fuck trophies by Tom, Dick, and Harry, she's here. Feel how you want to feel. Feel how you want to
I wonder
feel.
where that puts me.
You better have like it's different. There's levels. That's just the way it is. So even in that vein, but to Zion, he's just a big lame. And Freddie Gibbs, I don't know if Freddie is as big a lame. I don't know. I think Freddie was one of these guys, like kind of what Chef was talking about, where you get reckless and you having a good old time, just living your little fantasy out with the adult film star that's letting you do whatever you want. And maybe you just have a little too much fun one night, and maybe you decide you're gonna paint them walls, and then she decide that she's not gonna go through with the execution, and now you sitting there, you want to block her and you don't want to answer her phone calls. That's a bad look. Because if you're not willing to deal with those consequences, God, you shouldn't even been playing that game.
But here's the other thing that men need to understand. Roe versus Wade doesn't exist anymore. So the dealing with the consequences is not as easy to deal with anymore.
Yeah.
It's an annuity.
I mean, you literally have, you may find out when you 5 weeks, you might have 3 days to take them pills. And then, you might not even get an appointment for 5 days. Because these people out here are going out of their way to make sure they detecting heartbeats and everything. Then they make you sign paperwork for it. That you
these women are going out of their way to make sure that they don't even mention that they make sure that they're past that point. Like, let's be clear. This is an annuity.
It is. So it's like, you thinking.
I don't think guys realize. I don't because I don't think. But see, God, I can tell you now as a guy, who's been in that fire. You gotta, men. We gotta think about the math in this, men. We gotta think about the math.
The math ain't math.
The math. You don't even know the average man. If that's not if you ain't been in a long relationship, you ain't been seeing this woman for a while. You don't know when her last cycle was. You don't know when a random woman's cycle was. So you don't know when she's ovulating. You don't know if she just had a period. You don't know none of that. You just living your dream. You just wilding out in that thing.
Smell real good to you that day. She probably ovulated.
You know what? You know if you're a week, if her period just happened and you're the week after that, how much time do you have till the next one comes? And then if it don't show, maybe the woman says, maybe I'm gonna give it another week. Another week is another week, and another week is another week. By the time she really says, all right, I think something's wrong, bro, it can mathematically just be too late to even do anything. It's like, go ahead.
You know, the fact of the matter is that men just need to be more responsible with their penises. Like, you can't get mad at the woman for doing what she doing. You like, y'all both playing the game. Yeah. Right? But it's your responsibility. It is your, there's all kind of stories of women lying about being on birth control and blah, blah, blah. But that is leaving your future up to another person.
Yeah.
Right?
And this is where
be responsible with your penis.
Bro,
your seed is your responsibility.
I have said this a million times, and I
always
protect
yourself. Put a condom on. Check your condoms. I know a guy who 2 women got pregnant for him. He was messing with them both at the same time. They both knew about it. One of them poked holes in all his condoms, and her and the other girl got pregnant.
Lord,
you gotta be vigilant. You gotta be vigilant. That's your responsibility. Your penis is your responsibility.
See, and I think that's what it is. Like we say men are protectors and providers and women are nurturers, right? Mm-hmm. When men go into these situations recklessly, they have to be prepared to provide and provide with somebody
because
that you might not want to
protect themselves.
Absolutely. But women need to understand going into these situations, you may have to nurture. You may only get finances. You may not get a man who actually is going to pay attention to this child at all. I'm seeing more and more men walk away and just be like, this on you, sis. And then women are upset that they're now their resentment.
What was the guy in the group? Brian Gardner. If you ever see this.
Oh
Brian
my
Gardner.
God. Why you brought that fool's name up? He gonna sue you.
Listen, I don't give a no, he ain't. No, he won't. Because listen, me and him went at it. We went at it because this man flat out, just he got her pregnant. He didn't want her to keep it. She chose to. And he said, I am out. Like he just
and if they were engaged. So
listen, I will say this. I've said this so many times as a man that's been in a situation where there was a scare. That moment of not having control is the weakest I've ever felt in my life because you have no control of that outcome. And it feels terrible because you realize you relinquished your control. You gave it up. It wasn't stolen. It wasn't. It's not usually stolen from you. You was having a good time. You had a good time. And then I'm sitting there.
The thing that
I'm sitting there sick.
Be like, well, I thought you was on birth control. When did I tell you?
It don't matter. It don't even matter if she is.
You didn't.
It don't matter if she is, bro. It's your seed. It's your seed. Just the best thing you can do is make sure you do everything you can do, and whatever she's doing, that's just a plus. It's just a plus.
And that's what's so annoying because it's like even if you're in this stage where you're like, okay, we're agreeing to terminate whatever. Let me make sure she has all the resources she needs from me to get this done. But dudes don't even do that.
Let me tell you. Man, I wish I could tell some stories. Listen, let me just say this. Golly,
like man. You don't even want to ensure your future is secured here, sir.
Listen, man.
Her body, her choice.
What? Certain loved ones, if they see this, forgive me, but listen, I've sat in those clinics.
What?
my well.
I would say I would just say this. If you're a man and you're gonna recommend that she do that and you're gonna go through, and if she agrees with it, let's just say that's both of y'all's plan. Go with her. Go sit. Take her home.
At least you can do.
Assist with everything that takes place. Witness everything that goes down. What you gonna witness? You gonna witness a bit of that woman's soul leave her body. It's not as casual as people think it is. It really is something that when you witness it and it goes through, it's something that a woman will never forget. And it's something that you as a man will never forget. And it will absolutely make you say, you know what? I got to do better. First of all, it's going to cost you some money. It's going to cost you money, time. And if you just got any sort of soul, it should hit in your conscience somewhere. But a lot of these dudes are sending money via Cash App and telling me, send me the results after it's done. And the women are obliging, and dudes are telling dudes that that's what I did to get rid of the situation. And then that's what's being passed on as information from man to man, young man to young man. There's no accountability in that.
If I'm about to bail you out of jail because I done put my house up to get you out, I'm going to make sure you show up to court.
That part.
There you go. That was a goddamn good. Say that again, Chuck.
And I don't know why dudes don't understand that. I mean, it's like, and then when it gets to the point where, oh, we're past the part where it can happen, now you looking like, well, I said I didn't want a kid. Well, nigga, I said I didn't either. And here we are. What are we gonna do? You know, I'm getting personal at this point because that's where I'm at right now.
You look. Chris Rock said, when a woman tells you she's pregnant and you don't want, there's only one thing you can say. One thing. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? That's all you. But I mean, these young dudes and these stars and these ladies.
It don't even be the young ones though.
I'm talking about these guys right now. I mean, I know it's grown men that do the same thing. Brian Gardner was like 50 years old. Ridiculous as hell. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, man, we got to do better. That, like, I mean, the women, listen, y'all got us today. The men got to hold a little bit of an L. I'll hold listen, I will on behalf of the male species, I'll go ahead and hold a little bit of an L. But hey, man, I don't feel good about it, man. We got to do better. We got to be up, man. We can't do that, man. We just can't.
Man, can we go back and talk about specifically them two niggas?
Yeah. Now them two, you roast them to oblivion. Go in.
Them niggas ain't finna skate by unscathed. Cause that got to be. It's like since the beginning of time when you were dealing with when you're in a certain place at a certain status in society. If you're gonna dibble and dabble with the commoners, you make sure you don't leave any evidence. You don't leave any residue.
Hot sauce, man.
Huh?
Well, Drake, some girl tried to sue Drake because he put hot sauce in the condom after he was done. And she went in the bathroom and tried to put the stuff in her and it burned her stuff.
Good. Nigga don't learn.
The human experience is about error correction. He made sure that error correct.
He made sure he put.
But Frank is right, man. Frank is right, man. And that's why I'm lame and a little green because we are taught, man. When you decide you finna go with the low hanging fruit, hey, bro, don't get caught. Don't get caught riding with that girl in your car. Don't get caught coming from that girl house. Don't get caught walking down the street with her. Don't get caught. Like, just don't, man. Like everything.
Tell your children, yeah, your mama was a porn star.
Bro, oh my God. Here's what people don't understand. Men, it don't matter. It don't matter that he didn't wife her. It does not matter. In the fraternity of men, we hold each other to a standard. We flame each other. It will always be talked about in his fraternity of men, bruh. I can't believe you got that pregnant right there. Bro, how you do that, bro? Like Freddie Gibbs, that video of that woman saying she had 2 Johnsons in her mouth, he will never be able to say nothing slick about another man ever. No, bro.
He better ever call himself a
But
player either.
did you hear the rest of the interview though that she did in that particular video? Because she was
no, man, listen, yeah, it was bad. Yeah, she was.
Oh my God! And
she was
like,
wilding.
well, I just figured I got to get mine this time instead of waiting on somebody, and then proceeded to do it while pregnant. Oh
and
my
this,
God!
And this nigga was in videos with her matching robes on, and okay, man, you already got some notoriety. You're with a porn star, but you're doing these courtship activities on camera with a porn star.
Freddie Gibbs.
What kind of nigga is you? And then he's a rapper.
Yeah.
Oh, Freddie Gibbs is hilarious.
Nigga, like, come on, man. Where were you raised at?
Yeah,
what part of Bel Air you come from?
So let me tell you, he tried to explain it like I watched the interview. He tried to explain it like she lives her lifestyle. I let her have her freedom. We got an open relationship dynamic now. She said the relationship dynamic was open, so that's a whole other thing, and he accepted it. But then he went and switched lanes. Like, okay, I don't want it open. No more.
That was her job.
Right, but then he said, no, I don't want it open no more. I want it to just be us. So he tried to lock. So he said, now I want to lock it down.
So he's a double decker lane.
Listen, let me tell you, he's the guy that when a guy has a bachelor party and everybody know not to touch the dancer, there's one guy that's gonna go there and put his mouth on a dancer, and it's Freddie Gibbs. one guy finna kiss the dancer, and I don't mean kiss her on the face. One guy is finna put his face on that dancer somewhere where everybody and all the dudes gonna sit back and be like, man, this dude wilding, bro. We've seen it in the strip. Anybody that's been in a strip club with men, there's a guy in a strip club that wants to plant his face in there, and dudes just be sitting there like, bro. And all you want to do is make sure that ain't your homeboy. That's not your homeboy. whatever it is, it's not your homeboy. I don't know that dude. So on the fraternity of men, Freddie Gibbs and Zion Williamson, they're gonna get cooked forever. So this is an L for men, but it's an L for them big time. They'll never live that down.
No, it's an L for them niggas.
he said he ain't holding his L.
Don't associate at all with them. Like, nigga, that's you learned that in damn middle school. Like, man, if you go do it, man, don't let nobody see you.
Don't let nobody find out.
And it wasn't just one. It was two. It was three. It might be a fourth one and a fifth one that's gonna come out this week with this retarded boy that look like when he go home and visit, he's still sleeping in that race car bed in his mama house. Zion, that big retarded nigga.
You a man.
Listen, we listen. Hopefully, I don't know if it'll be a learning experience. I guarantee you one thing: when he finally decides that he want to marry somebody, whoever that woman is, she's gonna say yes because he got that bag. So it won't matter at the end of the day.
But will she though? Because it's one of
yes,
those.
Yes, she will. Hell yeah!
It's one of those things where you're embarrassed of who you're married to.
Man, bro, trust me, it's somebody out here that's not gonna care nothing about that because they're gonna be looking at the life.
It's the probabilities. It's the test of the probability.
Yeah, it's like I'll deal with it. He changed. He's a better man. He was young. Trust me, they gonna let him off the good. They gonna let him off
6'2". He extra lanky.
So speaking of, since those women exposed those men, there's another exposure. I want to share something, and I want to know. I want y'all's opinion on something in particular. There's a video I'm going to share, and this guy is exposing his girlfriend for cheating on him with his cousin. Yep, I said it right. The boyfriend is exposing the girlfriend for cheating on him with his cousin. My question is exposing ever okay? I mean, is it really? Would you do
I think
it?
you don't. I don't think you get. I don't even need to see the video. I think that the best revenge is moving on and being happy.
All right, let me play the video. Let me play the video. So because this, I just looked at it and I'm like, I don't understand his pain, but I'm gonna just play the video.
I gotta see this video.
Let's let him rock.
Everybody know. Tell them what you told me, so everybody know what's going on. Tell them what you told me.
He just got through crying.
Tell them what you told me.
I slept with your cousin.
So no, speak up so they can hear you.
I slept with your cousin. That's it.
How long y'all been sleeping together though?
For a year.
For a year?
Yes, okay.
And how long have we been together?
I told you that before you even put the camera on.
How long have we been together?
For 8 years. 8 years, okay?
And she sleep and go creep on me with my cousin behind my back.
You not okay.
Like,
my thing is, it's not just my fault. You making it seem like you do your job. You're not even doing your job as a boyfriend. You don't even treat me right. I don't even feel good. Get pleased right.
Oh my God. Listen, y'all, all I do is work, pay bills, come home, and make sure I try to satisfy her.
You don't.
I don't.
Do that though. You
I take her on dates. We go do stuff, all that good. We do all of that. And the audacity to go behind my back and sleep.
On social media for what?
And sleep with my cousin.
That ain't nobody's business, but I told you that, and I owned up to you and told you that though. I told you. I didn't lie to you.
I don't care. It's owning up. You gotta take this owning up too. I'm owning up and putting it on social media so everybody can know how it is.
It's not that
and
serious,
on
bro.
top of that, so you can't take me to court on no type of domestic. I'm letting the world know I've been a good black man, a faithful black man. Can you say faithful?
I'll be faithful.
You can't say faithful. She can't say faithful.
Take it back and I apologize.
Apologies ain't gonna help it. I'm sorry. You got to get out of my car, out of my life, out of my house, out of
I don't have to get out of nowhere though. I'm not going
everything.
anywhere.
You got
this
to
is
go.
ridiculous. Like all you have to do is forgive me because I don't want nothing to do with him. I don't even talk to him anymore. I'm being honest with you about it.
Before you should have cheated, you should have came to me and told me it was a problem. Right?
I can't talk
to
you. You never
That's
listen.
sad.
You never listen.
That's so sad, man. I'm trying to tell y'all people out here right now that being a black man is so hard. I am working off. And this is what I get. When I come home and to provide for my family, this is what I'm providing for. Trifle. I just can't deal with that.
If that's how you feel, after I was being honest with you, then you can feel how you want to feel at this point. Like, seriously.
I don't care. Honesty don't pay the bills.
It's not that deep, though.
It is deep. It's my cousin. I can honestly don't know. This is my cousin. I gotta go see him.
Okay.
I gotta go to the family reunions with him. I gotta deal with him. I do. My mama and my mama and his mama's sister. I gotta go talk to my auntie about this because my cousin.
I get that. Okay.
Oh my God. That's so lame. Like, oh my God, I just try to be a faithful black man, hardworking man, and this is what I get. This is the type I got. Don't make no sense.
This is hard to stomach. I've seen enough.
I'm putting it on camera so they know how trifling you is.
Why are you laughing at this man? Why are you? He sounds like he about to cry.
He sounds like a B.I.
I knew y'all wasn't gonna let him off the hook. See, come on, man.
He sounds somebody was shaking him.
I'm not condoning her cheating, but I see why she was stepping out.
No, we will not say that. We will not say that. We will not say that. Nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves that.
She should have been.
Nobody deserves that. Okay. No. But I just think that 10 years from now, he may be in a completely different place. But yet this video gonna come up on something, whatever, as a reminder, take them back here. So I just think the best thing to do is heal and move on. And
it's like, why did you even put that on social media?
Because everybody doing everything for likes, literally.
That's it.
They will expose all of their dirty laundry for likes.
And he made himself look bad, not her.
That's what I keep thinking.
Yes, he made himself look like a fool.
Make yourself look like a lame man.
I'm laughing.
Let me tell you. Mine cheat on me. I'm calling that man right there. I'm just like, man, cheat on me. And I'm gonna cry in the car, and I'm gonna let it out, and hopefully he console me and don't tell me that it's karma for something I did a long time ago. Hopefully that's what he do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna get on social media with no phone. Man, I can't believe
what you did.
I can't believe this, man.
I gotta go talk to my auntie. Boy, shut the fuck up.
They both have issues. They both have issues.
And then she out there, well, I was truthful with you. Just forgive me and move
yeah,
on.
She's
really
very entitled.
Yes.
She's very entitled. He been letting her get away with a whole bunch of shit for a long time, and she been letting him be lame for a long damn time. Cause that everything. No, I'm serious. The way the whole setup, like how he put it on camera, his whole little lame. Oh, I've been just being a good black man. What?
And he ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere.
What? He ain't going nowhere. Exactly. Exactly. But the way that he came off, he has been, you can tell that he acts stupid. Yes, he might work and pay the bills, but he's stupid like that in real life. And they two lames putting up with each other. They deserve each other. And neither one of them going nowhere. She just told him, I'm not getting out this car. And he already knew that she wasn't getting out the car. He put on for social media. He know he ain't really kicking that girl out the car. Come on. If that was the case, you would have put up a video kicking her out the house. Y'all finna go y'all asses back home.
Right.
And pretend fuss and then make up.
Applebee's.
Man, could you imagine, Frank, could you imagine, any woman you was ever with and you find out after some years y'all been together, she was kicking it with Sweaty Boo Boo for a good 2 years?
Man.
What would that do?
You know what? I would be more disgusted and disappointed and in myself. It's like, dang, like, what happened to me? It's like, how I dropped the ball that bad and you resorted to go let nigga, man. We call this nigga Sweaty Boo Boo. And this nigga, we call him that because that's what he look like.
And then she talking about you ain't even been a good boyfriend. That right there threw me off because
you don't
we
please
too
me.
grown for all that. A boyfriend? What is that? We've been together 8 years. See,
a boyfriend.
It wouldn't even happen. You been my boyfriend for 8 years? What the hell?
Right.
He never said now one thing about his cousin. He mentioned his cousin one time.
Yeah.
That nigga scared of his cousin.
He's scared of his cousin. His cousin is a different dude. His cousin is a different dude.
That's why she cheated with his cousin. Because his cousin is what she want him to be.
Yeah. Cousin will see about him. He don't want no smoke with cuz. So he just I gotta see my mama.
And that's why he's going to tell his auntie.
He gonna tell auntie. He gonna tell auntie.
He's going to tell his cousin mama on him.
Yeah, that's what he gonna. You know what?
The family reunion is going to be so awkward.
You know what? I really was hoping that the panel would be much more sympathetic and empathetic with this guy, and it's just
man,
like,
why?
I don't know. I misjudged y'all. Y'all are some straight
animals.
Zion
Williamson gonna be in about a year.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Tell me what you did.
He is. But I don't ever think exposing, like even. I've always just felt like jumping out there and exposing somebody. The only time I believe is necessary, and it's not even exposure, when you have to defend yourself from another person's lies. Like, let's just say she jumped out there and threw him up under the bus for something, and he had to respond publicly because she did so publicly. In those moments, I believe exposing is giving yourself vindication. It looked like he was putting her on social media as a way to hold her accountable and feel good in the process, when it sounded like he was about to cry the whole damn time anyway.
Man, he was about to cry. What I really need men to do, and I need y'all two men here, because I actually hold you both in a high high standard. I know, Manuel, you've had your trials and tribulations.
Oh shit!
But I genuinely think you were a good dude.
Thank you.
But black men, especially, gotta get rid of this whole. Well, I'm a good black man because I go to work and I pay bills.
Nah.
Come on now. Come on.
That ain't enough. That ain't enough.
Nah, that's bare minimum. That's and a while ago, I had to own that myself to my wife. I told her that I realized like, I had like an epiphany or something. I don't know what it was, but it had just dawned on me that as far as going to work, paying the bills and all this stuff, and just being present, being loyal, being an active father, I was looking at it like you know how blessed you are. But the thing is, that's what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
So the appreciation is always welcome and appreciated in return. But I shouldn't be doing it for the recognition. Rather, I should be doing it because.
Somebody says that the cousin was a female.
Oh, this gets even better.
Oh Lord!
What the hell?
Now he real pressed.
Whoa!
Damn.
What the hell is going on?
He's super pressed now because she done went gay on him.
I mean, well, damn.
Plot twist.
I can't even try to.
What I was saying.
Yeah. No, go ahead. That
No. We need you. We need you to come back here. Like yes. We need this on record. We need black men to be able to see this. Yes. That.
No, it just that's what I should be doing because this is the life that I chose.
Yes.
Duty,
So,
man, bro. It's duty, man. I don't. Man, what I witnessed of my grandfather and father, what I saw, I'm not even in a position to live up to what my grandfather. I'm not even in a position, and I say that because, give you an example. All the women in my grandfather's day, he was married, his sisters were married, my grandmother's sisters was married, and then they were eventually widowed, so on and so forth. So as they aged and these husbands died and their children grew up and moved along, let's talk about patriarchy as we would imagine it actually being when a man is not this toxic or this color purple. Let's put the color purple narrative out the way. And let me give you the Manuel Hill, the first narrative, because my grandfather's name is Manuel Hill. Y'all didn't, I'm the second, he's the first. What we witnessed was as all these husbands had passed away, his duty became the women that were left behind. Now, not sneaking and creeping and doing nothing crazy, but literally, because he would take my father, he would go to these homes. These husbands left these wives with homes, big homes. They weren't changing light bulbs. They weren't nailing up screens. They weren't changing pipes. So my granddad had to regularly, all right, Wednesday night I'm going to Dots. All right, this night I'm going to Opals. All right, this night I'm going to Maze. And literally I had hey, come on, grab whomever. And we went along with him. And he showed us that the patriarch of the family doesn't sit in a big chair and just drink and go to sleep when he gets off of work because he paid the bills. No, you got a whole second shift. When you get home, he would go home, have dinner. He would go home, have dinner, and then after he changed out them work clothes, put on his coveralls, and we had to go out and go do something else. And then so that was my example. But
that is why women admired them. That is why we admired them. So a lot of times today, men want the respect, the admiration, but you're not acting respectable or doing things that we can admire. When you do that extra, we salute you.
that work, consistently up until he was too old to do it and then passed away. We witnessed that, so now the minimum we can do. Man, you mean tell me I just gotta take care of the woman I married and these children and be my ass in this house on a regular basis and make sure some bills is paid and be present, and it's nothing to be celebrated. I don't find it nothing to be celebrated about. And I think more men do it than actually are recognized or get credit for it, or I don't even say recognize or get credit for it because they don't need it. But I think a lot of men do it. But I think there are a lot of men that think that they deserve credit for it. They deserve a pat on the back for being just a good man. I mean, it's just be a good man. Like what? Where's the pat on the? Why do you need a pat on the back for that? I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Especially,
I don't know if I need to.
You remember that one post I made in the group where I was talking, the white couple were talking, and she was like, she would tell her husband to do stuff so that it didn't become emergent. And then when he will finally do it, when it becomes an emergency, now he want to get pat on the back because he solved the problem when it only became a problem because he didn't do it when she told him to the first time.
Right.
But so much of it is just that it's like people don't like to be told what to do. But if you really viewed it like you have a helper, somebody who sees things that you might not see, so that they can spot problems before they become problems and point them out, then you can again veer catastrophe. But if you look at it like I'm telling you that, hey, the filters need to be changed, or that I'm telling you what to do, then again, you're viewing it through the wrong lens. You still the captain of the ship.
I was definitely guilty of that, but and you got to realize, man, your woman is your peripheral. Like she seen this over. We're like this, man. We laser focus on the goal and boom, boom, boom. And then these little side view mirrors, that's what they're doing. So a little reminder. You retarded. But they supposed to spot something and say, hey, I see this, hey, just a reminder of this, doing it gracefully and everything else.
Absolutely.
There's a balancing act with that. There's a difference between being a helpmate and making sure everything's good, making sure he's catching it, and then being a nag. A nag is something totally. There's a difference between the two, and I think some men, if they haven't got an example of what's what, it's easy to perceive one thing is one thing and another is another. But just generally speaking, just like the brother said in the video, hey, I pay bills, I work hard, and this. I'm like, man, good. What else?
But I also think that society for men, again, there are a lot of men who weren't raised around men, right? So if you are a man who wasn't raised around men and you come out whole and a functional, capable adult, then that to you was the win, right? Because you've seen other people who didn't. So when you get into a relationship and you haven't seen somebody who did above and beyond and that other stuff, you actually believe that you are something compared to some of these dudes out here that got compared one fork in there. Exactly.
And compared to the bums, I think a lot of so sometimes the good guys are comparing themselves, or the regular guys are comparing themselves to bums, and they're saying celebrate me because I'm not a bum,
right? And that's where the rub is, because I can't applaud you for being capable because I wouldn't even be with you if you was that. So I can't this is what even got you there, So you get it.
Yeah, I'm the same way about adults. Period. You have women. Well, I pay my own bills without a man, and this is that and the other. Girl, you a whole grown adult. You supposed to.
Whole adult.
That's your job.
They out here finding annuity plans. So I'm happy you paying your bills. Okay, I'm glad you are paying your bills. Okay, that is saying something these days.
You know what though? I actually had a brief conversation with a young fella today I work with, and I asked him because he's much younger than me. He's like 22, much younger. And I just asked him about the dating scene locally and how he feels. And he told me out of his mouth, he said, man, these women are bold. He said, these women are telling dudes, here is my Amazon list. Here's my cart. I'll send it to you. Get me something out of it. And he said, I don't know who asks people stuff like that. He said, and then when you ask women what their interests are, they say they like to go on trips. And he said, and he's waiting for them to say, like, okay, you go on trips, like, do you travel? And they're like, no, I just, I want a man that's going to take me on trips. He said, but these are young women that aren't working. They're not college students. They're not really doing anything. He was like, he said, I don't know where this comes from. He said, but I think that they can try people like that because it has worked. And I said, bingo.
Yep.
I said, they can tell. I'm like, they can so boldly say, here's a link to my cart. Go ahead and get me something out of it if you want to do something nice, because somebody's done it. Because some dude has looked at them as being so cute to say, shit, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
But you know who does that? Findoms.
Who?
Findoms. Financial dominatrix. That's all it is. It's just a new spin on findoming, where you just tell
the women are basically.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. It's like findoming has become this new quote unquote revolutionary thing that these young girls are doing. And it's like, baby, this has been happening for a long time. The dude's been out here caking they lovers. I mean, you got back in the 1400s, kings caking they side pieces and stuff in the same way.
Right.
And all of this stuff. So that's all it is. It's modern day findoming.
But I think regular guys, it's a lot. Like, man, the dating.
I think the entitlement is. I think entitlement.
I think that's the part.
That's really what it is. You have raised children who have excess wants and needs and this and the other, and so once you leave your mom and dad, the thought in these people's mind is, well, if you're dating me, well, my mom, my dad used to buy me X, Y, and Z, then it's now your responsibility. The problem is they haven't gotten the fiscal awareness to be able to do it themselves. But then I will say, Manuel, that the opposite of that is, I mean, I will go out and I will date, and they'll be like, hey, what are you interested in? And I'll be like, oh, macro, financial, stocks, this and the other. And they'll be talking to me and they'll be like, oh, you think you smart, huh? And I'll be like,
I am.
You asked me what I was interested in.
Like, what did you want me to say? Like makeup videos? Like I'm like, so
you know what? Sometimes actually, yes, that's what they wanted, because they can
it's easy.
They can dominate that.
That. And so again, at first, I can't water it down. You know what I mean? I can't water it down. I'm going to be me, and I want everybody to be themselves. And if what is better for you, a better fit for you, that's why even today, like I saw the video, there was some, I don't know, girl at a Whataburger, outside of a Whataburger, doing little videos now, because now the Home Depot girl might get picked up, right? The Home Depot girl that did the video saying, okay. So my point is, like, people are doing these videos now, like, look, come get me. I'm cute. I work at Whataburger. Come get me. And that's fine. Like if you want, men can date across and down, right? That's what they normally do. If that's what you want, right? Somebody that you're above and that, fits into that box for you, then yes, that's what, but here we gonna have like stimulating conversations. If that's too much for you, then I'm not.
I asked my daughter about the young people all the time. I got kids that are, so in order for me to be relevant on the mindset, and I have questions. And so I said, what is it with some people that are shady when it comes to money in y'all's age group? Like, why is it like that more than, and she said, because so many young people are so fixated on social media. Instagram. She said everybody on Instagram looked like they got it. She's like, so the pressure is on these dudes to look like they got it. And then the pressure is on, she said, but the pressure on us girls is to look good. He said, so we think that we got to look a certain way, and the guys think that they got to have a certain level of income. She was like, when in reality, when you sit down and you're in your peer group, you realize you just hope you just like this person. If you stop paying attention to that stuff, just stop. It's nice that this guy has a job and is going to work and is in college, and it's nice that she's in college and she's doing the best she can. Like it's some very basic things that if people stop trying to put on, they would actually get put on. Like, stop trying to put on and you're gonna get put on.
See, but even I'm raising sons, having 3 sons. Like when I'm sitting at a table and hear women talking about, you know, their daughters or whatever, send dudes their Cash App in order for them to even go out with them. I'm like, oh,
wait. You didn't say that again. Say that one more time. Wait,
like I have been at a brunch,
and you, okay,
and heard someone say, "Oh yeah, my daughter, yeah, she tells boys to Cash App her money." And I'm looking like, well, my sons ain't gonna be Cash Apping nobody nothing, right? That I'm not gonna be able to do.
I'll come put the girl out myself.
I'm gonna leave y'all. Listen, I'm gonna leave y'all with the rest of the goddamn show because I cannot believe.
But look, she just said somebody sent somebody a Amazon cart, right? That is the society that we are in.
I wouldn't think that. I would not think that a parent would tell a child.
And that's literally the stuff that
again,
I was taught in the Fendon world. You send them a bill. You send them a list of things you want. You send them how to pay your rent, and then they just do it.
See, I understand. If you're some sort of lifestyler, and that's what. But when we're talking about our young people, like our teenagers,
but they're watching us all the time, though. They're watching their moms want to be the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Like I've never understood how people. It's my birthday. Here's my Cash App. Girl, just shake your cup outside, because that's what you're doing. Just go on and shake your cup outside.
But that's where we're at today.
I told my daughters to be careful about what gifts you accept, because there's always something attached to it.
There you go, boy.
And some stuff would be like, I think my wife told one of our daughters, like, hey, was it one of us said, hey man, get it back. Give it back. One dude gave my daughter some. He cashed out her some money on her birthday, and he probably got like a little lump sum of money for Christmas or something. I don't know where it came from, whatever. But I was like, hey, now, be careful about this stuff, man, because they always expect something. It's very rare that somebody would give or offer something without expecting something in return. So if you take it, then you owe them. And they're going to feel like they're entitled to whatever they want out of you. So it's ain't no way in hell either one of them would come in the house and say, I told this person to send it back to him. Simple as that. Send it back to him. Like, man, the thing I hate about social media is that they make everything cute because it's popular.
Yeah.
And nobody.
It's trending, so we ain't gonna say nothing about it.
Yeah. And so nobody is considering the potential dangers that come with a lot of stuff that they think is cute, or that they will consider to be cute.
Mm-hmm.
Not over here.
Because that be the guy you take you out on a date. Like that one video, I forget who posted it, where I think I posted it. The dude, he was looking at what the chick was ordering.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Well, look, I'm fucking. Oh, do you?
Yeah. Or
like the expectation.
Or like dude in Players Club. I spent a lot of money with you, Diamond. I spent a lot of money
Myron.
on you. Myron,
Oh,
boy,
yeah.
Myron, like,
Myron
okay,
showed up
look.
at her crib. This is where you
Myron
live. This
showed
is
up at
nice.
the crib. Myron said, "You mine, baby."
Right.
I make sure you get home every night.
Every night, girl. I'm taking care of you. You mine. Like, man, listen. Yeah, that's something, man. Yeah, we veered off into that one a little bit, but that's something that is, again, I'm glad you mentioned that you told your daughters that, because I haven't had to, but that is definitely something, if you got a gift and you think that gift is just a gift, man, please be careful. Anyway, I want to tap into this next one, man. Who sent this video about? Yeah, this Frank, you sent this one in with DC Young Fly and his situation.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to talk about this because the conspiracy theorists. Listen, conspiracy theorists. Y'all are interesting lot, but I'm telling y'all are very close to becoming. Yeah, I had y'all as the cousins of flat earthers, but now I'm having y'all as siblings with this, because this every time we turn around.
DC Young Fly gave a speech, and it was the first time he had spoken in public since the news broke. And a lot of people on the internet were talking about some conspiracy theories. They were saying that he sacrificed her. They even pulled up quote unquote evidence to suggest that. They said that, he's part of the Illuminati. She was his blood sacrifice to get put on. And ironically, the 85 South show just got a Netflix special. And it reminded me of this saying in Nigeria that goes, "No wonder the devil is black." What's interesting about that is, as black people, we have been convinced that we are the personification of evil. We have been convinced that anything bad, we are at the bottom of it. So Jay-Z is the head of the Illuminati. DC Young Fly, a comedian from Atlanta, Georgia, who just got some money, he must have sacrificed his child's mother to make it in life, because for some reason we can't fathom the fact that black people are capable of anything worthwhile without some nefarious means, without some pact with the devil. And I just would encourage us to investigate some of our biases. I would encourage us to investigate, why is that more believable than this tragic thing happened to this young man and to this young woman and to their young family? One of the things that people said is that he wasn't emotional enough during his speech. If he was really sad about her passing, he would have cried. He wouldn't have been so clear or eloquent in his speech. And unfortunately, it reminded me of the way that we have been socialized to police black men. I think it's clear where that comes from. We've always policed black men. But in the modern context, I think what we do in our communities, we police black male emotions. On the funny side, you'll see memes talking about, as a man or being a man, why do you have a birthday? As a man, why do you order dessert? Stupid stuff like that. But beneath the surface, there is this sense of masculinity needs to look a certain way. And that certain way tends to be a way that serves femininity, a way that satiates women's desire or the lens that women would like to see us through. I want you to be tough when I want you to be tough and how I want you to be tough. I want you to be emotional when I want you to be emotional and how I want you to be emotional. I don't want you to have agency over your emotions or your disposition. I don't want to have to learn about who you are or how you are, because I would rather live with my assumption.
So I want to stop right there before we go into the next chapter of it. Because he talked about two things. First, he talked about the fact that there's this whole idea that, again, DC Young Fly had to sacrifice somebody. Jay-Z, in order for him to get there, he has to be part of the Illuminati. We've heard this stuff. Kanye had to sacrifice his mom. I remember I watched the documentary on this famous guitarist on Netflix a while back, and it was The Devil at the Crossroads, where this guitarist literally stepped away from the scene for a year. And when he came back, he was playing the guitar unbelievable. And what dawned on me when I watched this documentary of these people saying that, well, this man must have went and sold his soul to the devil in order to be so good at that guitar. I wonder if they ever considered the 10,000 hours that they say makes a person a master. The 10,000 hours. Anybody ever heard that 10,000 hours? 10,000 hours makes you proficient at something enough to, even if it's not a natural gift, 10,000 hours of anything. So Sam, I know you got 10,000 hours of drawing. Sheffy, I know you got 10,000 hours of coding. Me, I know I got 10,000 hours of fucking. I'm just saying, we are all masters at this talent. These talents. We are
You got on in there, didn't you?
We are masters. So we're gifted. No.
I do not like this man.
I got 10,000 hours of talking, so maybe that's it. At any rate, I say all that to say, we give all this power to these negative ways by which we can, excel. We always have to have done something, sucked somebody off, took it, like it's left with, like it's always something. And it's sad that in this man's situation, and I just want y'all to speak to that man. And of course, the policing of Black masculinity. Again, the man should have cried. The man shouldn't have been so eloquent in that moment. Stoicism is a thing, but I don't want to overtalk it. I want y'all to go ahead and give me y'all thoughts on that. Go ahead, Sam, real quick on that policing of a Black man's emotions in those moments, man. You've been here before, so I know you can speak to it.
Man, people grieve differently. And what a lot of people don't realize that hasn't dealt with grief is the fact that before you're in public, you've gone through those stages of ugly crying and fussing and being angry. You've gone through some of those initial stages of those 7 stages of grief, I think it is. So also, when you're surrounded by people, the people are a distraction.
Yeah.
So when I lost my late wife, when I was alone and had to deal with it, I was at my worst. So when I was around people, I was able to smile with them and laugh with them and talk about the good times and all that stuff. It was those alone times where I was left alone with my grief. So it's very plausible that this man was in front of these people and had to keep a face on.
And he's a stage presence.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a master in his craft, or he's becoming a master in his craft of being on a stage anyway.
Yeah. So people
at home.
Yeah. People project what they think should happen onto other people. And they project what they think they would do onto other people.
Right.
So they hold people to their standard of understanding. Right. If you loved her so much, then you would have been snot crying at the funeral, because I know I would have.
Right.
But that ain't you.
Right.
Like you can't, if you've never experienced it before, shut up.
Shut up, please.
Shut the hell up.
Please.
Because you don't know.
You don't know.
You do not know. As far as policing the Black man's masculinity, that's steeped in stereotype. That as a Black man, we're supposed to be unmovable. We're supposed to be stoic. We're supposed to be impervious to pressure. We're supposed to be this rock. We're supposed to be hard. We're supposed to be tough. And if you show anything outside of that, you're a punk.
Right.
where we are people, we are human, and we are experiencing human emotions, but because of the stereotypical image of the black man who's supposed to be this gangster nigga, you can't allow yourself to feel. And if you are bold enough to allow yourself to feel and show people that you're feeling anything, then you ain't no real nigga. And for some reason,
look at what we do. I hate to say it. Every time that nigga Tyrese cry, we flame him.
Yeah.
Will Smith was teary-eyed. We flamed him. Michael Jordan is a whole goddamn meme because he got to, like, what are we like? Come on, bro. We can do this all night. There's a crying meme of Jordan.
What he said about about black men's masculinity and emotions being policed to how did he say that? Basically to fit into women's idea. That is so very true. And I have
be hard when you want to be hard. Be soft when you want us to be soft. Be nice when you be sweet. Like, man.
Yes, these women want men to be only if and when it benefits them. And I have an entire post with over 100 comments under one comment. The whole thread is about that I made a couple years ago about men being human too and having emotions and stuff. And these women were, I mean, ridiculous. Like the things that they were saying, I was like, are y'all serious? And I think that we need to be more mindful. Yes, men are supposed to be the rock and all of that stuff that Frank just named, but they're not robots.
And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. There is a very I don't know how. There is a very bad thing. This idea, I don't know how I put it out there. I guess I have. I've been considered by many to be a robot. My wife has said, I think you're
military.
Like, I think it's I think it's so many different things have, made. I'm like, and I've had to tell her, I gotta verbalize how I feel more so than wear it. I actually have to say, this upset me, this bothered me, this hurt, this, that, and the third. And sometimes when I say it, I'm I'm funny when I say it. I'm saying it sometimes jokingly. And so I'm learning how to express the negative side of emotion so she knows that something is something, because I'm so cool all the time unless I'm angered, right? And so she's just like, I don't know if you're serious. I don't know if anything hurts you. Like, I don't know if you would get, I don't know. And she's like, and I like that because that's beneficial to me in other ways. But she's like, in other ways, I wonder. And so I do think it's in part conditioning, because you grow up and you taught to be tough. Now I can't blame my father for that. My father was not a, hey, be shut up, don't cry. No, I just, at some point, I think the military added to it, but at some point I adopted it. At some point I didn't want to show weakness in any sort, because I don't want to, I don't want a weakness to be exploited. And I think that's the militant side. Like, it's just that force calm shit. You know what I'm saying? Can't see no chink in the armor, but it does get you perceived as being less than human. And like, you end up being perceived as a robot, and people think that, okay, nothing gets to them as an individual. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not true. We are humans, and we're having a human experience. And DC Young Fly, man, there's no way that man is just normal outside of the moments he's on that stage, because on that stage, he's at home. That's it. That's the easy part.
Yeah.
That's definitely probably the easy part. Chef, did you want to tap into that, or you want me to go on to the next chapter?
No, I mean it's one of these things where this is my moment where I step in, and being a mother of sons, a lot of sons, it really brings it home. But this is definitely one of those moments where I really feel for men and their inability to have safe spaces, because there's all these expectations of what masculinity is supposed to look like, what vulnerability looks like. And so many men have never been given the platform to be vulnerable, sometimes not even to their friends. So, you know, you wonder why suicide rates are going up for Black men. This is why.
Yeah.
This is why right here. Because there's nowhere for them to go to. And then, well, he could have went to therapy. But did you make it a safe space for that man to even talk about wanting to go?
Yeah.
You know, all of these things come into play. So when you hear, you know, just because this man got put on and the announcement, and I feel like, I really feel like a lot of times, especially with Black men in entertainment, a lot of these journalists do this on purpose. When they have a tragedy, they'll already know
absolutely
about to happen.
Absolutely.
And they'll put it out right after the tragedy happens.
Let me tell you, and I was
like
thinking
y'all
about
setting our men up.
Man, let me tell you, it would be the worst thing for, you know, Monwell to get an opportunity podcasting or something, and something blows up, and then within a year, my dad, who's getting up there in age, and I want him to live forever because I'm selfish just like all humans, and I lose my pop. And if somebody was to say that my pop was a sacrifice, my brand deal would be over. It's over. I'm burning it all down right then, because when I come out and say to who, no, I'm about to sacrifice all this to let y'all know. Like, stop playing with people. Like, stop playing with people. Like, it's not cool for somebody to work hard. You know, those comedians, man, the work that they have to put in, it has never changed for comedians. Like, it don't change for none of them. But they talk about the work that comedians have to put in their lifetimes to get their big breaks, all the stages they got to go in, all the clubs they got to go in, all the free stuff they do for years and years before they finally start getting a little bit of money. And then they got to get that little bit of money and travel and send that back home if they got, like he had family. And then you got to do that for years. And then when these opportunities finally come, a tragedy comes somewhere around the same time, and you're going to say this man made a sacrifice to get that done? Like, God, it's just, I don't think it's fair, because the work, it just tells you basically, forget the hard work that this person did.
Right.
If that was the case, why he didn't do the sacrifice 8 years ago?
Right. You know, what's his face? Jack Harlow talks about that in one of his songs when he was talking about it can't be. And he just goes on this narrative. It can't be all this work I put in. It can't be all of these influence I have. It just got to be because I'm white.
It got to be steroids. It got to be steroids that these dudes sitting up there with them shoulders and them arm popping out like that. It's steroids. I ain't never. I don't care.
It can't just be some push-ups.
Yeah, I can't. It ain't the gym videos he posts. Those are all after the fact. He did steroids, got big, then he started posting them videos.
Whatever.
You know what I'm saying? But we know. But I know this man's, bro. I've known this man's workout journey from then to now. And bro, like, yeah, it would be easy for somebody to say, "Oh man, this man got a big back because he done shot some steroids." And I would be like, y'all are nuts, man. Like, I pick up the phone to call this dude, and I would say almost every other time I'm picking up the phone to call this dude, he's on the way to the gym, on the way from the gym, if I'm not interrupting him in the gym. He go to work.
Stop skipping leg day. And we
listen, and now listen. I'm working on him, Chef.
I did legs day before yesterday.
I'm working on him. I'm
do
working on
leg
him,
day
Chef.
just as many days as you do backs and shoulders.
Listen, baby steps, Chef. Baby, that'll overwhelm him. Listen, if we overwhelm him, Look, if he overwhelm him, he gonna say, "To hell with y'all. Let me show y'all." And he gonna be in a wheelchair, can't walk to hold that body up, and he just gonna be strong up top.
That's what's gonna happen.
But that man puts in the work, and so it will be sad for somebody to say, "Oh man, you know, that nigga been to prison," or man, that man, people put in the work to become what they become, and let's just like beyond that Beyonce song, "I woke up like this." No, most people don't, and she didn't wake up like that either. It's work, hard work. So I mean, yeah, I'm gonna get back to the video, but man, I that every time I hear somebody say somebody sacrificing or they part of the Illuminati or some
She
shit,
was having a
it
mommy
just grinds my
makeover,
gears.
which I believe includes a BBL. The internet is blaming men, blaming DC. They're saying that men have created unnatural pressure on women to fit a certain aesthetic. The Coke bottle shape, the Instagram model shape, the video vixen shape. And that pressure is what's inspiring so many women to risk their lives to conform.
My prediction in about 10 or 15 years is you're going to have a bunch of young ladies. And when I mean by young, I mean about 30, 35, because they're still considered young, who are going to be disfigured. They went out and got these veneers that nobody told them they're going to have to redo in about 15, 20 years. So now they got chips and gray and brown all on them. There's going to be a bunch of young ladies who didn't keep the weight off like they were told to. They are not in the gym like they were supposed to be. A couple of them are going to get pregnant, and the fat from pregnancy that just happens naturally, it's going to start growing in weird places and in weird ways. The butts are going to start to sag and not match their legs, and they're not going to have the money to fix these things or redo these things. You're not as cute as you used to be, so you don't have a sugar daddy. OnlyFans is not around. Technology doesn't stay like that. There will be no stimulus checks. It's going to be really bad in a couple of years.
I interviewed recently a young lady who had a BBL procedure, and she talked about researching about this procedure since she was 13 years of age, and all the safeguards that she put in place to make sure it would go as smoothly as possible. The recovery period would be nice, and still the risk of her potentially losing her life, but the reward on the other side of getting the body that she always dreamed of. In Jackie O's case, she started out as a model. She started out as a Wildin' Out girl on the show that DC starred in. And that's how they met. But at that time, before she had children, she had a really nice body. As a father now, I understand, and watching my daughter's mom, I understand the toll that takes on you psychologically from having a nice body, or at least a body that you liked and you were happy with, to kids doing their thing and making your body look less than ideal. And I understand the pressure that puts on women, especially in the modern day when you turn on the computer, turn on the TV, and you're seeing these Coke bottle, these carved out women. What I will say to women is, contrary to popular belief, real men still like real women. Real men like women's bodies as they're supposed to be naturally. Real men are understanding of the changes that happen as a woman goes through, her menstrual cycle, the childbirth process. And all we ask is, maintenance. But these unrealistic, pseudo-feminine aesthetics that are being pushed, real brothers don't like it. It screams fake. It screams superficial. It screams I'm for sale. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm also not with the body positivity movement that tells you you should present any version of yourself to the world and they're supposed to love you for it. I still believe you should take pride in your presentation. I still believe you should optimize the things that you have. You should be in the gym. You should be eating properly. But if you're a woman who puts her entire self-worth on her aesthetic, you will gravitate towards and attract a certain type of guy. And unfortunately, with that kind of guy, you're not going to find longevity because there's going to be a newer, tighter, younger model that comes out at some point, and he's going to trade you for her. So you have to ask yourself, this body modification, this BBL that I'm doing, who is it for, and what are the costs? Not just the monetary costs, but what are the costs to my mental, to my relationships? And is this the world that I want to be in? The world of the superficial, the world of the over the top, the world of the Kanye personality? Or do I just want a wholesome, good man who's going to be a great father and a great grandfather? He's going to care that my skin is popping, that I smell good, that I'm intelligent, that I'm helpful, that I'm feminine, who's not just going to view me as an object, a trophy. But those are the type of guys that you would attract with BBLs. Or even if you attract a good man, he's immediately going to be in the mode of, oh, I just want to sleep with her, because you just commodified yourself. And I know the pathology of women is, okay, if I can just get my foot in the door, I can convince him that I'm all these other things. But the reality is when a man puts you in a box, it's very hard to get out of it. So I would encourage women to lead with their best attributes, and hopefully their best attributes are what's in their mind and their personality and their disposition, not their body, not their breasts, not their ass, not their titties. Whether you do a BBL or not, age and gravity is going to take it away.
So the last thing he said, two things, I'm gonna let y'all take it. The last thing he said is that box that men will place women in, and it is without a doubt. I talk about it all the time. There's this category, there's the wife category, and everything else. And then sometimes there's an in-between category, but the wife category and just consider it everything else. It's hard to get out of that box. It's hard to prove that you're not that when that's just where a man puts you in his mind because of how you presented yourself. That's one. Two, he spoke to men wanting natural women, and that a lot of men, the type of men that women want, they respect and they appreciate and they understand the aging, and when a woman has children and when she goes through these growths and the body changes. Man, I can say for sure it's something you watch, and all most men want is that you care about your presentation while you're going through these changes. Don't let it all go to crap, but care enough. Like, all right, I'm not as shapely as I was at 25, but here at 35, I'm taking stock. I'm doing what I can to make sure I don't go all the way bad. We'd rather that than the surgery, because the surgery being so unnatural. And I've never dated a woman with a BBL. I've never seen one naked, but every guy I've talked to that has, they say the same thing. They're like, bro, it looks better with clothes on than with clothes off. And what a lot of men, me being a man, they love to see their woman prance across the room naked. And they love that. I think there's something natural, whatever your build is, that natural build, and that when you are nude, not seeing those scars from where the tattoos covering up the scars from where you had to get your hip done, your hip line done, and your chest. Like, they don't want that. And I've heard dudes say, bro, that ain't cool. They said all the women, they all got the same scars and they got the same tattoos covering the scars in the same area where they went and got the surgery done. And they was like, and it's just, it don't feel physically good, and it doesn't really look good because the body doesn't move the way the body is supposed to move. It don't wiggle and jiggle the way it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't do. So I know a lot of women are thinking that men are just paying lip service to this because we're trying to control women's bodies and we don't want them to feel good about themselves for doing what they want to do. No, do you? We're just saying what we know as men, the majority of us actually want. And if whatever you're doing, forget what you think based on what these thirst lords like on Instagram and what they heart and what they share. What men are saying the most is that the reality of the situation is men want to pair with women that are their natural build, and whatever they do with their natural build, whether it's working out, eating right, or doing whatever, that's what they want. Chef, you can go in on that next. Because you're the resident woman on this bitch. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So the part that I think we're a lot of people escape in this whole process is that the reason this is a thing is because of the number one addiction in the entire world, social media.
Mm-hmm.
Social media has created this false sense of how valuable a person is. And because that value and likes have been placed on things like the BBL, you have a lot of women that are seeking it. And I don't even think it's men bullying women to do this. It's other women.
Mm.
You know, well, I want a booty that looks like hers because she gets all the attention. Yeah, guys want.
I've heard that.
But the guys want to fuck her. Do they want to be with her though?
Once I get that ass, I ain't gonna know how to act. Baby girl, you don't want that attention.
You don't.
You don't. Women with butts, women that have been born with and having that, they walk around all the time trying to
hide it.
I'm
And
tired.
honey, you don't want these back problems. Look, you know how hard it has been to get dressed at 8 months pregnant? Because my dresses are made to fit the back, but not the front. So now I've just run out of space in all my clothes. So
just wear a muumuu.
No, we're not doing that.
Just put on a sheet. Girl, just put on a sheet. I don't want to hear that.
I'm still out here cute. I'm still trying to find me a stepdaddy. But you know that's the problem. Social media has put so much pressure, because we talked about it earlier with the girls. Social media has put so much pressure on women to look a certain way. And it's like, baby, I remember a guy hit me up once telling me how beautiful I was. And he made a post. He showed me a picture of me with half my hair straight, the other half in dookie braids. And he was like, "You look so beautiful here." And I'm like, "Sir, what now?" What are you talking about? Look a mess.
Okay, I'm gonna get in trouble. Please, my wife, she don't need to see this part. I remember I told a woman I was dating one time, and I was not joking. She's like, "Well, I'm gonna come over there," and I'm like, "All right, come on over." She's like, "Well, I just want to let you know my hair ain't done." I was like, "What talking about? Your hair ain't done?" She's like, "Boy," she's like, "I took my braids out." She's like, "So I just got that one little slave braid going all the way," and I was like, "Oh, that's good. Don't worry about that. Come on over there. Come on. Don't care nothing about that slave braid." I didn't care nothing about that slave braid. Matter of fact, see what she didn't understand. Listen, what you don't understand is when I see that slave braid, that means I can do whatever I want with that hair. You ain't got nothing special going on. You mean I can be as disrespectful as I want? I can just
wow.
But anyway, I mean,
but
go ahead,
you know,
Chef,
that's what it is. It's this pressure to be this thing, and this pressure has existed for a long time. I mean, you got to look back in the 50s and 60s, when, even farther than that, Victorian times, when women were wearing corsets so tight that they would pass out. And that's why a lot of men thought that women were a weaker sex strength-wise, because they were like, well, they faint all the time. The corsets were too damn tight. Literally.
They couldn't breathe. So they can appear to have childbearing hips and a thin waistline.
And then women were wearing these corsets while pregnant. That's how bad it was. Then you came out with, you know, then of course there was the era where you had to hide pregnancy altogether. So you had to wear these slimming fitting type dresses. So this pressure on women to present themselves in a certain way has literally existed since the beginning of time. And like somebody just said, Asians with the bonded feet.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the other people with the gold rings around their necks to make their necks look long because this is beautiful. Or people bleaching their skin because porcelain skin is more beautiful. Even in Asia right now, you have in India, the lighter skinned women are given more opportunities than darker skinned women. So all of these things are created to make women devalue themselves. So when you hear a man say, well, we like y'all natural anyway. Okay, yeah, but y'all don't celebrate the natural in public like y'all do the unnatural.
And that honestly, Honestly, man, I remember I said something. There was a sister one time, and me and Bree, me and my wife, we were looking at this lady scrolling through Facebook, and I was scrolling my Facebook, and she just saw. She said, "Oh, scroll back real quick." There was a sister on my timeline. We scrolled back, and she was like, "Oh my God!" She was like, her Afrocentric features are just everything. I said, "I'm gonna tell that lady you said," it. And I inboxed the lady, said, I scrolled by your picture. My wife was sitting here. I said, "We ain't crazy. We ain't lifestyle. We ain't trying to pick you up. I promise." I said, "But just your aesthetic is just like, man, like." And you're right, man. It's so, think about what they did to Whoopi Goldberg for years.
And Whoopi was always beautiful.
For years, like, and then when you sit back, when you actually go back and look, like, oh man, we were tripping off the nose and the lips. That the lips is what everybody trying to get right now, and the nose is just the nose that we know is our nose. Like, what are we talking about? It's the nose is the same nose that Michael Jackson wanted to get rid of. Like, let's think about this stuff for a second. It's the pressure, and you're right. Social media has amplified it. If it was loud before, social media said we finna blast it all across the world.
Yep.
Frank, these BBLs, man. Wait, what, man? Now Frank liked the
Frank
BBLs. Frank liked them BBLs. I don't care what
he do.
No, I don't.
What are you talking about?
No, I don't, man. Them things look like some Fred Flintstone bowling balls. Just look hard and unnecessary.
There are natural eggs to bowling balls. I'm through.
Man, in defense of those, I've always seen women say we don't get them for men, we get them for ourselves. We get them because I like the way I think it look good on me, and blah blah blah, whatever. And then another set of women will say, well, that's what men like because they already hardened pictures and all that stuff. So the reason why it's not celebrated, or it seems like it's not natural, it's not celebrated, is because it's so much noise surrounding around the BBL. That's what's amplified, because that's what brings traffic. Whether it's positive criticism, not criticism, but whether it's positive praises or negative criticism about it. It's the loudest, so your attention is not drawn to those guys that's saying, well, I like natural. And
or let's be fair, a lot of times the example of natural is the woman who naturally got all the curves that the girls that are getting the BBL.
There you go. And truth be told,
because the one that's natural, because the one that's natural, that's shaped like a T with a big back, and surgery can't fix nothing she got. Nobody's saying they like her natural. Nobody's saying they like her natural.
But this is what's even worse. Half the time, the stuff that men think natural is not.
Yeah.
You know how many women got natural hair wigs and stuff, and they be like, "Oh, see, this is what I like right here. She natural. She ain't got no makeup.
They don't know.
Sir, she got a face full of makeup and a wig
First of all, folks, let me tell you, man. Listen. There's a minimal amount of makeup, and then there's a maximum amount. There's minimal amounts that are very hard to tell by the best eyes that anybody can have, especially with these cameras and these filters and everything on social media. They will have a minimal amount of makeup on, and you think she's natural because you're comparing her to the one that got the clown paint on. Trust me, they all got a degree of makeup on. It's just what it is. And those that don't, there's some that don't. Cool. Are the eyebrows naturally arched to that degree? Most people's eyebrows are not naturally arched to that degree. There's some plucking, there's some trimming, there's something to groom something to where it's, and so even when you say you want something natural, you want it natural, but you also want it groomed to fit what you like. But but like I said, the unfair thing that I find is the women's whose bodies are not shaped to the what if she's a block? What if she's just a block? She don't got she don't got hips. She don't got boobs. She don't got nothing. She just a block on both sides. What about her? Like, do you like that naturally? Then a lot of guys say they want the thick woman that's natural. Okay, she fits what you want. What about the one that don't fit none of? She just olive oil. You like her? I mean, now I know there are guys that do like that. I imagine there are, but I think that's what you're saying, Chef. Like, those women don't get. They don't get that love. Like them, like those super skinny. I've seen black people do it all the time. Go to watch. My wife watches a lot of the Project One Runway and all them other stuff. And and these women walk across there. These women are 5'11", 6 foot, bony, shouldered. I have never seen a single man celebrate those women's natural physique.
Nope.
Never. Ain't nobody. And those women are just tall, skinny, bony. You ain't celebrating that. So Sheffy you make a very valid point. And Sam, you make a valid point too, that there is a lot of noise around the BBL that even if there are men that are celebrating it, it's gonna get drowned out. But I think both of those things are true, have some truth to them at the exact same time.
And then another thing I was gonna say is I've also seen on several occasions when guys do express their desires for a natural woman, they get attacked for it by women. That basically tell them, well, but y'all say y'all like natural women, but y'all harden all these women with surgeries. Two different types.
Because that's the truth.
But it's two different type of men, though.
Right.
It's really not.
So
it's the same dudes who will say to your face, I love you. I love your pics because you're natural. But they're in my inbox saying that. They ain't hearting my pics.
Maybe they're doing that because they think that's the way to get in.
I mean, I guess, but I get
it don't
celebrated.
Match.
It doesn't. And because it's weird to me because I was when I was like 15, 16, I've always been on the larger side. I was like 180 pounds at like 16 years old. And I got called fat. I'm a whole 100 pounds more than that now. Oh, you so beautiful, you so thick. And it be by the same dudes that called me fat in high school. What? No, I need you to keep that same energy, sir. I'm still fat. And they're like, well, no, it's how you carry it and it's distributed well and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I got the same shape I had then. I just got a little more weight on me. So what was different then than now? I just didn't know what I was talking about.
Now I will say,
we had them skinny girls and the skinny girls was it.
I'm not trying to defend brothers. I promise I'm not. But men's tastes change. I would say mine for the most part have been very much the same from day one. I've always, liked a certain aesthetic, but I've watched men go from liking the thick to the smaller. Like peers of mine, I've watched peers go from liking small to thick. I got peers that will tell me that what I think is fine, they want something bigger than that, and they will say, "No, she is too little for me, bro. I can't. I gotta."
But they, and I get that, but they'll sit there and say, "But I always thought you were beautiful in high school." So you called me fat.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Which one is it?
I see what you're saying.
Or was it beautiful? I'm confused.
Right.
And I think, and that's what that word.
Yeah. They full of shit. Yeah, I think those ones are trying to save face as opposed to saying my taste changed. I thought something that no, you didn't. You was an asshole then, and you just trying to.
But that's the thing that's happening. These guys, they're hearting all of these pictures of the fake bodies and the what Kendrick Lamar says, show me I see sick and tired of all this Photoshop.
Yeah.
Guys are liking all the Photoshop pictures and then they'll get in your inbox of the big girl and be like, you so beautiful. But then you look at what he liking and it's like, okay, are you playing with me or are you serious? And then those will be the same guys who'll be like, well, I like my women natural. I don't care if she's gained a little bit of weight and this, that, and the other. But you weren't publicly saying that with your chest like you is liking these dogs.
So that's to me, okay. So to me, that's a fair point because I respect when dudes, the guys that I know, a lot of the guys that I know, what they like is what they like publicly and privately. And I would say, man, your point to me is 100% validated because if I can't say I'm attracted to it publicly, I can't come into your inbox and tell you that that's my thing. I can't come in there. Man. Now you can come in there and say I like variety, but don't come in there and try to say, oh man, you've been the cat's meow the whole time. And like you just said, everything you're giving all this public attention to is the total opposite of me. That sounds like bullshit.
Look, I'm telling you, when somebody posted a picture and it was a whole bunch of like fit dudes, 6 packs, whole thing, and it was like, what do all 3 of these men have in common? And somebody posted they all like big girls. And if that ain't the fucking truth, when I tell you it's always the fittest dudes, gym rats that love the big girls. And then this is when you get the whole, well, how he dating her, how he end up with her, because they actually like big girls.
Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you what a cat told me one time. He just straight up told me, he said, man, man, he made it seem like physically he needs a woman that he got to move because he need to feel like he moving something around. because when you because I'll be honest, I know it don't look it, but I'm a big dude. I know it don't look it. I know y'all think I'm a lightweight out here, but like 230 pounds is right there. And I can tell you, moving 130 pounds for me is like knocking over a lamp. It's like knocking over a lamp. Now I still like my aesthetic, but I need my wife to have a little bit of weight on her. No, she got a little bit of weight on her. I know she looks small in pictures, but she got some meaty thighs. I get on all the time, meaty thighs. You got to have a little. So I understand those dudes because you don't want to feel like my daughter's a little. Like my daughter Morgan is tiny. I don't want to feel like I'm moving my daughter. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel like you're moving a little girl. So a lot of those strong dudes, they want to test that strump. They want to test that strump. Look at him folding his arm over there.
Because that's literally what it has been. Like most of the guys I've dated have all been athletes. Yeah. And they be like, how you pull athletes and you a big girl? I just do.
They come bother me. They come bother me.
Exactly. They come bother me.
Man, my preference has always been the same, but I've come to appreciate the I won't say slim, but the more athletic shape. I have an appreciation for that. But my preference, that's more of an exception. But my preference has always been the exact opposite of this what this nigga preferred. We should always go for the exact
argue our whole life, bro.
Like nigga thick belly, nigga, but slim belly come when she get older, nigga, she go to fill out now. So I'm like, man, I don't got time to wait for her to get older and fill out. Nigga, I want her
now. He been consistent, boy. Being consistent. I think as he's gotten in shape in his life, he appreciates the work ethic of somebody who's got an athletic build. He don't prefer it, but he can appreciate it. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I get it. And I think as I got older, as I put on weight and start working out, I realized, okay, I need something that got a little bit of weight on it too, because again, I don't want to slide you across this bed and I forget my strength, and now you over there on the you bent all up.
Be tossing my 300-pound butt behind around man. Like that too.
Yeah, Matt, let me tell you,
wait a minute, sir, don't manhandle me like this.
So here's the thing. Here's some. One of my homegirls told me, she's a big girl. She said, guys will forget that we're still women because they were thicker and they strong and they think they can just do whatever. He's like, no, sir. I'm like, you can't just pile drive and pound. Like I still feel
You cannot.
yeah. So but dudes be excited like they wrestling a
Especially
bear.
when they find out how flexible most big women are.
Oh, keep your
Like
business out of here.
it boggles their mind.
Keep your business about
The
here.
first time I put my legs behind my head,
God.
I mean, dude had to like he had to pause for a second. It was like, wait a minute, I gotta go to the bathroom and get myself together. I'll be back.
I just took it out my ear.
Like,
Sheffy, you becoming a sister now. You can't you becoming family on here. You can't
it was funny because
no shit.
He was just so surprised, and I'm like, y'all do realize that because of when a woman is heavier, she's typically stronger muscularly because she's carrying around the weight.
Yeah.
It's like being Piccolo all the time.
Yeah.
So if we lose like 20 pounds, sir, you know, we can do some things.
Right. She said it's like being Piccolo. You goddamn nerd.
It is.
You nerd moment.
Yes, I'm a nerd. Absolutely.
She took out the Piccolo armor. Wow, man.
Hey, it is what it is. Because I was well over 300 pounds for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So when I lost that weight, man, I can lift any and every. I can lift you, sir.
Mm-hmm. You can't lift me.
I can, and I will. Try me. Wait till I had this baby first.
Get that baby on the body.
But, that type of thing, I think, is the problem. Is that the celebration is just not loud enough. It just isn't.
Yeah.
And until we break the addiction to attention that social media has provided for people, I don't think it's going to get better.
I think one of the things that, because I do see a lot of guys publicly on women's posts, big women of all aesthetics, but bigger, thicker, whatever. Now I think the women that get it the hardest, from what I see, like I said, those runway models that are bony. Yeah, I don't ever see them. I see the bigger girls getting celebrated. I see the shapely girls and the aesthetics and the slim thicks. I see them getting celebrated. I don't see the bony project one way tall girl ever getting. And I wonder, they go through all kind of body dysmorphia and all kind of. They go through all kind of mental anguish dealing with that. I'm gonna play this last segment of DC Young Fly's thing, this last chapter of this guy's break. And I like this guy's breakdown, man. He really he does some really good stuff. That's the restarted this conversation guy, I believe. That's his pod.
You may have a valid reason to lose your mind, but that don't mean it's right.
Ain't no sound.
'Cause I got a valid reason to go buck wild, but that's not gonna get me and my children and my family nowhere. They gotta see the strength so it can be instilled in them.
The reason why DC Young Fly was able to compose himself during that speech is because as a man, especially a man coming from where he comes from, death wasn't something that's foreign to him. Death wasn't something that was unfamiliar. For people who are expecting some kind of performative masculinity in a way that they find palatable, they don't take that extra time to think it through. Where he's coming from, he's had friends that have died. He's had family that's died. He jokes about it sometimes how his siblings are old enough to be his grandparents. So some of those things should be considered when we look at how he chooses to grieve. And especially as a man who is expected to be strong, expected to be a warrior, to be calloused emotionally, to now all of a sudden be expected to be emotional exhibitionists like women are celebrated for being, I don't think it's right. I think this situation and the commentary coming out of it is a great opportunity for us to now question our biases and our expectations and our projections on one another, and particularly black men.
The part where he talked about he can't lose his mind. He can't do that. He has to, for the sake of children, and Frank's been down through this before, but children aren't allowed to see parents struggle, especially young, because whatever the struggle is, we have to present that everything's okay so they don't panic. Because if kids see the parents crying down and out, they pick up on energy. They will pick up on energy, but if you at least show them your face and you're good, they gonna keep playing. Right. Life is still but a dream for them. So it don't get him nowhere to be broke down all the time in the eyes of his daughters. But Sam, go ahead and speak to that one.
Yeah, that part got to me, man, because it brought me back to where I was, that exact same place where I couldn't afford, for their sake, to lose my mind. As much as I wanted to, I knew that I wouldn't be any good to them if I did. Even though I had a village with my family surrounding me, they're still, my kids. I'm still their dad, and they know that. So I knew that I had to always be present and operable for them, because me being an adult and being their only surviving parent, I had to make sure that whatever I did, it wasn't gonna offset them. I had to make them as comfortable as possible in this sudden change that they were gonna have to grow into, because they were 5, 4, and 13 when my late wife passed. So they were old enough to know who their mom was. My daughters. For my son, I knew it was gonna be different for him, but I just had to make sure that I was enough of a presence for two parents. Not saying that I was gonna try to be their mother, but at the same time, I just wanted to fill their life up with my presence so much to where losing their mom wasn't gonna be as traumatic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So I couldn't spaz out. I couldn't give up. And the only reason why I didn't was, for one, because the strength of God's spirit, and then my kids, because I know what it felt like. My dad gave up on me and my siblings when our mom died. I was 15, and he just stopped. Like he just stopped, and he chose to continue to abuse drugs, and that's the decision that he made. So I know what it feels like to be dropped, and I'd be damned if my children that I created would know what that felt like. So I had to, whatever I was feeling, I man, I just had to trust God, honestly. And I didn't know how to navigate through it. Nobody around me knew how to navigate through it. So I really had to literally lean on my faith and continue to live, which was important. It's like I had to live.
Mm-hmm.
And my son at 13 reaffirmed that by telling me the exact same thing at 13 years old. When I met my wife and I told him, you know, I'm considering proposing to her. Him and Manuel were the only two people that were in support. And when I talked to my son about it, he said, "Man, you know, because my son, I'm the only man that my son has known his mom to be with. You know, he knows his biological dad. His biological dad stepped in when he turned 13, and so his biological dad was there. When I say he stepped in, I mean he took him and he started to raise him full time. So but as far as his mom being committed to a man, I'm the only one that there had been. So that's why it was important that I talked to him to see what he felt about it. And so when he said, "You still got to live," that was it for me.
That was it.
That's I ain't give a damn what nobody else had to say about it.
And me, yeah, you damn sure gave it what I said. I told you. You.
Turn your mic off. Turn your own mic off.
You know, I remember that conversation because I remember thinking, man, I'm like, and I remember what I told you. I was like, bro, you gotta live this life. Ain't nobody else gotta live this life. I can't, man. I remember told him, I said, bro, I can tell you not ready. I can tell you need to grieve longer and take your time. I can tell you all that shit. And then you can make a decision based on what I tell you. And then you can mess around and regret, you know what I'm saying, making that decision. Or, man, just live. Man, do you, because you got to live this life. All these other people that's not saying, telling you, oh, man, you need to rate. Oh, you need to, bro, they ain't got to live that life, man. Ain't nothing worse than going through something traumatic and then knowing you do have some decisions to make, but then on top of something traumatic, making decisions based on other people's input and not really ever being able to say, I made that decision based on how I felt. That's why I was like, bro, do what you gotta do. Because you gotta live with these results. Because if it don't work out, you miss out on something. Ain't nobody gonna come back and say, damn, man, go ahead and slap the shit out of me real quick since I told you something bad. Nobody's gonna do that. Not a single person. Nobody has ever done that to nobody that they've told to do something. Man, go ahead and kick me in my ass real quick. I told you to do that. Man, that ain't what we do. We laugh and say, shit, nigga, I ain't told you to listen to me. That's what we do. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So honestly, man, this whole thing, watching him go through losing the mother of his kids, his girlfriend, a fiance, or whoever she was to him. Obviously, the dude loved the woman, and it was a huge blow to him. Just watching him starting the journey of living through that, was it was something that was familiar to me. So I had I was I've been kind of close to it, to his situation, and extreme empathetic and all this stuff. So when I see people making those stupid ass remarks and comments about it, like nigga, the dude, it's still fresh. The
Still
woman
fresh.
hadn't, like she hadn't even been put in the ground yet, and here y'all come with y'all commentaries on a relationship that y'all were never a part of, and a relationship that they kept out of the public eye
Yeah.
as much as they could.
Yeah.
I ain't even know that he had kids, let alone a whole woman. I don't even remember seeing her on the show. Like, so they kept it private. But as soon as she passed, niggas coming with this whole damn thesis statement and conspiracy theories. I'm like, man, this dude is living through the loss of somebody that he loved. So now he gotta on his feet. He gotta navigate life with his children that she left behind. Something that he ain't never had to do before. So it's just like, man, no, I'm starting to get pissed off. Like y'all niggas don't know. Because had I been a public figure going through what I went through with the loss of my late wife, yeah, like Manuel said, yeah, everything getting burned down.
Man.
I'm fighting with a few niggas. I'm gonna find you, nigga, and I'm gonna give you a chance to verbally express your thoughts
what you've been saying.
about
Yeah.
how I'm handling this real life situation I'm going through, and then I'm whoop your ass.
Right.
Yeah. And I thought about it where when I saw what people were talking about, that man didn't cry and all this other stuff. I said, you know what's crazy? What people don't even think about is, man, she's got a birthday. That day is gonna come. They got a dating anniversary. That day is gonna come. Their children got birthdays. Those days gonna come. He's gonna mourn over and over so many times, and then and this is gonna be this cycle, and the smallest little things. I want my hair done like mama used to do it. I want this cooked like mom used to cook it. I want this. Man, I could not imagine. No, bro. I don't want it. I don't want that. I don't want it. Mm-mm.
Man, that's some that's some real life stuff that and children don't understand. They don't understand, and that's the hardest part. That was the hardest thing for me. Making sure that they stay healthy mentally.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I did kind of like I was like a helicopter parent.
Yeah.
So I just tried I didn't know how it was gonna affect them. So I was trying to safeguard their emotions and their mental state. I was trying to safeguard it as much as I could. So a lot of stuff I was trying to prevent, but I didn't know what I was preventing. I just knew that I just had to protect them.
Right.
Knowing that they don't understand, and because before she passed, she was in and out of the hospital and stuff. So they had become accustomed to not seeing her for like a week, or we'll go to the hospital to visit her while she was doing her hospital stay, but she would come home.
Right.
But this time, she's not coming home. And me being a whole 30-year-old man, didn't know how to navigate through that. So I'm thinking their children, they definitely don't know how to navigate through it. And how am I gonna help them navigate through it when I don't know how I'm gonna get through it myself? So everything that you were saying, Manuel, about these anniversaries and just the smallest things that they had become accustomed to, it's just literally gone in a matter of hours, and it's not coming back.
Right.
So now you got to figure out we can't replace those things. We can only learn how to live without it moving forward.
Right. We got to come up with a new routine.
Exactly.
We got to be adaptable. And kids are incredibly adaptable humans. They more adaptable than we are. I mean, obviously, their brain plasticity, they're just amazing. They can learn 12 languages, before they damn 7 years old if you just plug it into their brain. They're amazing little creatures. Mm-hmm. But you also you're right, you also still have to protect, because their moments come very sporadically. In the innocent ways. They not even thinking about it until they think about it, and it can all flip in a moment once it realizes, oh man, my mom's gone. I don't feel like dealing with daddy because mom used to handle this. And a kid, man, they'll throw a damn tantrum, and ain't nothing you can do to fix that tantrum because mom can't come in the room. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was the only comments I had about the whole thing was definitely not over her death. I felt it was messed up that it was a BBL. It was a surgery. I've always said, man, all surgery, when the moment somebody putting you under, all that got to be taken seriously. I don't care what it is. Like anesthesia, they you sign something basically saying that you might not come back every single time. And that's just that side of it. And so different commentary, they should have been married, this, that, and the third. He didn't marry. I'm like, hey man, she should have required marriage. But who knows what they were gonna do? Who knows? Right. Who knows? Yeah. They were in a relationship. They were in a committed relationship, and they got children together. And I'm like, forget what we might think about their relationship. If me and my ex ain't been together for years, if she was not here tomorrow, it would feel, I'd be like, damn, I gotta deal with my daughters, my children, my son not having a mom here tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Woo! Like I can't feel those shoes. Nobody can feel those shoes. Not a single person on this planet. They didn't leave nobody behind that could feel those shoes. They didn't leave nobody behind that can feel the shoes of DC Young Fly's children's mother. Nobody's left behind. Everybody just gonna have to pick up the pieces. Go ahead, Chef.
One real annoying part is people is like, well, she volunteered to do that to herself, blah, 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 blah. You know what else women volunteered that can kill us? Having babies.
Yeah. And she didn't volunteer to die. Like, I know, I mean, like right. People keep saying it so casually. I'm like, yes, man, we know the risks involved, but let me tell you something. Every day, everybody jumps in their car and they go to work. Nobody volunteers to get into a car accident on the way and die. Yet every day somebody does. Several people do. Every day.
It's just so insensitive. And people, love wanting to point at people famous and, what they did and what they didn't do, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, if this was your kinfolk, would you want people talking about your people like this?
Boy.
Because I know y'all would be ready to fight.
I go back to what Busta Rhymes said, boy. In this new day and age, you get to say whatever you want on the internet. He said, but back in the day, it was a time where you had to come across that person and you had to answer for the words you put out there.
Exactly. And I know a lot of people won't do it, especially stars, because they are like, it's too much to deal with. But I love when Cardi B sued old girl.
Yeah.
You out here talking about me?
Yeah.
Well, you ain't gonna get my money because it's such and such. That's fine. You put 33 cents in that account, I'm coming for it. And that's what it is. People are so emboldened to say and do whatever they want to say that they think like today or tomorrow, if somebody get on social media right now and come after me, defaming me and posting and quote unquote receipts, baby, see me in court. See me in court. And I mean it. Yep. I don't care if it is true, because now you're violating my privacy. You're causing me distress. You're causing me
already. People don't understand, bro. There's a fine line between posting receipts, because people be thinking that they can post inbox stuff. Let's be very clear.
They ain't been sued enough. I'm telling you, people ain't been sued enough.
Yeah, inbox stuff is private stuff between you and a person. Now,
text messages, all of that.
You better listen. You better go get some. If you want to expose somebody, you better hope you can go get it off their social media posts where they made it public and use that. That's your best bet. Do not go taking an inbox screenshot.
I'm telling you, they're gonna get with the wrong one, because you come after me, baby. I'm gonna see you in court, and I'm gonna own the house you live in. Play with me if you want to.
Don't see. We should have brought. People don't, like you just said. A lot of people don't know. But yes, inboxes. You think that's because this is on my phone? That's a private text message string between you and another person. If that person feels like being petty because they got the budget that you don't. If Zion Williamson wanted to be a dick, and he really wanted to be a dick,
man, I'm telling you,
he could break them real quick.
Baby,
real quick. Just break them.
You couldn't have me famous. Don't give me too much money. Because when I tell you, I sue a poor person. I don't care.
Yeah. Break them.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
What Ply said? Leave me alone.
Who was that lady? There was a lady who was getting I think Joe Budden or somebody said something about this lady was kicking it with LeBron James or something, and the lady, she finally spoke out about it, and so many people have spoke out about it, and she said, I tell you what, she said, the next person on a public platform that's out here accusing me of this stuff and saying this stuff again after I've said it ain't a thing, after everybody said it ain't a thing, she said, I finally got the budget to put my lawyers on it. Yeah. She said, try me if you want to. She said, I got the money to go fight it now.
Who said that?
I can't remember the woman's name. It was a woman. She's it's a woman. They were trying to say that her and LeBron, somebody was saying she kicked it with LeBron or something, and she was like, she's been associated with people in his circle. She's like, but I know his family. No, there was never nothing between me and this man. Like, I know his wife, I know his family. Like, and she just flat out denied it and had other people that denied it too, and was like, no, this is not that. And so she said, next time I hear about it from anybody who says it, she said, I have the budget now to finally sue.
Absolutely.
I didn't have that before. Now I got my bag up. Now say it again.
I ain't even gotta have my bag up. Say it again. Because I'll find some ambulance chaser that'll take my case. I promise you.
Oh man.
So come for me if you want to. And I got business insurance too. I'd be like, this is affecting my personality, that goes along, it's tied to my business, and this is affecting how I do business. Baby, they'll cover me.
Yeah.
So come
like you said. Now that's another thing. See, she giving out too much information. Them ambulance chasers. If you got a net worth and you say something slick, and just be careful. People got to be careful.
Yeah, because everybody out here trying to get paid. So if I was DC, everybody talking about I done sacrificed my wife. You about to get this cease and desist, baby.
Yeah.
And if you don't take it down, or if you went viral on it and you done made money off of it,
Ooh.
put your link on there because you selling popsicles or some stupid shit, I'm gonna need a cut.
Nigga finna get fired for your seasons.
Run me.
Right. It could be $40. I want my money. And that's what the problem is. People are so emboldened to say what they want to say, expose whoever they want to expose, because they're like, well, I'm embarrassing you. Well, baby, I'm just going to embarrass you in court. See me in court.
That'll stop all that.
It'll start ending it. It'll start ending it.
It will. It absolutely will. And that's like the modern day version of you got to see me in the street. Because see, I can't see you in the street because you may be 2 states over, and baby, I ain't driving that far.
And you ain't gonna come outside again, man.
Right, you ain't gonna come outside, but you gonna come outside for the subpoena.
The thing that people are willing to say online, and they would never say any of this stuff in these people's face.
Baby.
Like no, it's not. I've even had to catch myself for some of the things. I'm like, would I say this to that man? No, I'm not gonna be that rude. I'm gonna get my point across if I disagree with somebody, but I'm not gonna say this.
But I ain't
Probably
about to
not.
sacrifice your blood sacrifice so you can get this show. Okay, now because now not only do I have to read this as that woman's spouse,
my children gotta read it. Come on, bro.
My kids.
What if they ask me that question? What if they ask me that question?
I'm telling you.
What if they ask me that question?
I will sue Keisha Johnson that stay in the projects on Section 8. I know she ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna get everything she got.
Cause she went by. You just went viral.
She worried about the wrong thing. I'm gonna get that iPhone in your hand, ma'am, because I know you got one. If that's the only thing you own, I'm gonna get that. I will get your children's toys. Play with me if you want to.
Yeah, to shake the roaches out.
I will.
That's fine.
Leave them outside for a couple of days. They'll be just fine. And then I don't even need the stuff because I'm just gonna get donated to Goodwill or something. But baby, I'm coming for you. Please believe. Y'all gotta stop playing with people out here on the internet, especially people who have the means to actually cease and desist you and show up to your door like I now own your house. What was that? J.K. Rowling did that. Some dude was trolling her on Twitter, and she turned around and bought that man's house. Yes.
She wrote Harry Potter, right?
Yes.
No, wait.
Bought that man's house,
He was renting the house, and she bought it, and then went and put him out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, y'all gotta leave people alone.
No, what was it Drake did? Somebody was talking slick about Drake, and he inboxed his girlfriend.
Yes.
And the girl and the man was like, the man was like, and she didn't want to delete it, and the man was like, you better delete that. You better delete it.
I mean, look at what 50 Cent did to Ja Rule. Bought up all the tickets for the front row, so nobody was sitting in the front row.
Come on, stop playing.
Ruined that whole man's career. Like y'all better leave people alone. I don't bother nobody, but you come for me, I'm gonna come for you. I was telling this one guy, he said something about my girlfriend or my wife, blah, 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 blah. I was like, look, she run up on me at 4:00. She on a t-shirt by 6. Play with me if you want to.
You know, if you don't go ahead and hatch this baby. Look, we 3 hours and 22 minutes into the live. We finally back. I'm out of vacation, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna be back next Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, why Chef, you always gotta end the show talking about putting somebody on a t-shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm tired. I done got tired of people. I've let too much slide in my life. I'm suing everybody. And if you run up on me, I'm gonna shoot you. It just is what it is. I ain't gonna fight you. I'm too old for this. So just leave me alone. I don't bother nobody.
She's suing and shooting. She's suing and shooting.
Absolutely. I can't get my piece on you. I'm gonna get my lawyers on you. One of the two.
So before we go, listen. The baby boy's middle name has to be a combination of my first name and like
Absolutely not. That has already
Can
been
we get a-
taken. It's my
can we
sister's
get a-
name.
Your sister's name.
Yeah, her name is Danielle.
what
Danielle.
she
so
what
his
what
name
what
is
she
Daniel.
what she done did? What she done did for you? What she done did?
She's been done a lot for me. She's been like my ace boo cool. My sister, my baby sister is damn near my first baby.
So she outranked me and Frank.
And she absolutely does.
Wow. Wow.
His name will be Adonis
Okay.
Daniel.
Okay. All right. So you see that? You see that?
I
Frank?
see
You see how
it.
quick she outranked us?
I see it.
Wow.
Y'all need to be first uncles and whatnot. You know, take him to his first baseball game, football game, get him in the weight room, and listen to the kids.
I mean, I just don't know how that's possible, but I mean, you know.
I ain't that far from you, Frank. Dang, I'm like 90 minutes away.
Man,
If that.
let me know when Lil Junior dropped. You had a baby shower yet?
I'm not having no baby shower. I'm too old.
Man,
for that.
she grown. Don't do that, man. That's the young.
It really is. Child, look, he done popped up on me. I wasn't ready. Still ain't ready. I ain't had time to celebrate nothing. So I just bought everything I needed. Diapers and wipes is the only thing I got left. And I'm gonna get most
Hurry
of
up, man. Hurry up, get on the podcast, man. Shit. Man, hurry
I'm
up.
ready.
Damn.
Trust me,
Hurry
I'm
up.
ready. My doctor's like, well, I won't let you go no farther than August 5th. Like, can we do July 5th, ma'am? Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
man, hurry up. Yeah, I'm tired.
You've been
Tired of
pregnant
waiting.
forever.
I'm waiting the whole year. Waiting on the whole year. The oven the whole year, man. Yeah.
Turn that heat up, man.
All right, y'all.
Now I had the thing on 250.
Yeah.
Turn that thing up
he
400, man.
that good. Now the crust is getting on the top. That's what we at now. We got to brown the crust.
That roast tender enough, Chef.
He been in there long enough. He better have a beard when he come out. I know that damn much. Don't come out baby face.
He might.
Been in there so damn long.
Or come
Damn.
out falling off the
All right,
phone.
y'all, man. We gonna wrap this thing up. I appreciate y'all coming through.
All right.
Have a good night. We'll be back next week. I'm not finna go out of the country or go on vacation on
You
y'all.
better not, sir.
Nothing, man.
Especially
Yeah, I
my
know.
Sick of last minute.
Damn
I
baby
know.
Charles.
I got you. All right, y'all. Have a good night.
All right.
All right. Bye.